大家好，欢迎来到我们的六度解析节目。今天我们将探讨一个对中国未来至关重要的议题：不稳定的经济和面临退休金抵制的新威胁。随着数以百万计的年轻人选择退出国家退休金计划，该计划面临着因创纪录的低出生率和人口老化而加剧的压力。年轻工人们对退休金制度的怀疑和不信任正在上升，许多人认为自己缴纳的钱只是用来养活别人，而不是为自己的未来做打算。随着未来10年内每年有超过2000万名工人退休，潜在的年度赤字使得这一制度岌岌可危。政府虽然试图推行改革以延长退休年龄并增加对退休金的支持，但年轻一代的反感情绪却不断升温，这可能会对社会稳定和经济增长造成严重影响。我们将深入分析这些挑战如何影响中国的退休金体系，并探讨年轻人对未来的忧虑与不安。请大家继续收看详细内容。彭博新闻社发表了一篇报道，探讨了中国年轻人抵制国家退休金计划的现象，以及这一现象对中国已经岌岌可危的退休金制度的潜在影响。该报道指出，在中国，越来越多的年轻工人选择不参加可选的国家退休金计划，这一趋势使得依赖年轻工人资助的养老金体系面临更大的财政压力。报道中提到，高鹏程是一位来自深圳的社交媒体影响者，他与许多同龄人一样，不愿向国家退休金计划缴费。高指出，每月$200的缴费额对其收入而言是一笔不小的开支，他更愿意将这笔钱花在个人消费上。此外，他担心即使缴纳了这笔费用，到他退休时，退休金基金可能已经枯竭，无法提供应有的保障。高的观点反映出许多年轻人的心声，他们认为自己是用自己的钱在养活别人，而不是为自己的未来储蓄。随着中国人口老龄化问题的加剧，越来越多的工人将在未来10年内退休，而与此同时，由于出生率创历史新低，劳动力市场的新人进入数量减少，这使得养老金体系的负担更加沉重。根据报道，未来数年内，该计划将首次面临年度赤字，并可能在2035年耗尽资金。中国政府对此并非毫无作为，为应对退休金压力，北京已经采取了一些措施，如调整退休年龄政策，将男性退休年龄从60岁推迟到63岁，将女性从50岁推迟到55岁。然而，这些措施的效果尚未明显体现出来，甚至引发了一些不满和反对意见。在现有的退休金制度中，大多数中国年轻人认为该制度不够透明，工人们并不清楚他们退休后能够获得多少退休金。报道指出，缴费速度的放缓进一步加剧了这一问题，尤其是当许多企业未能按要求为员工缴纳应有的款项时，情况更加恶化。此外，在全球退休金制度报告中，中国的排名不高，显示出其在应对人口老龄化和维持长期退休金供应方面的挑战。中国的退休金体系由3大支柱组成，但尽管如此，资金不足的问题依然严重。首要支柱是针对城镇工人和公务员的基本退休金计划，然而这一部分资金预计在未来10年间会大幅缩减。第2和第3支柱即企业年金和个人储蓄计划，尽管政府已推出激励措施，但其参与者数量和影响力仍相对有限。报道还指出，许多独立工人或兼职工人选择不参加国家的退休金计划，这使得他们在老年时可能面临更大的经济压力。由于中国年轻人对未来经济的不确定性感到焦虑，他们更倾向于将资金投入自己可以控制的领域，例如股票投资，而非国家的退休金计划。这种情况反映了更广泛的年轻一代对于经济前景和社会制度的不信任。低工资和不稳的工作前景使得许多中国年轻人采取所谓的平躺姿态，放弃激烈的竞争，追求一种简单的生活方式。这与过去几代人渴望通过辛勤工作来实现成功的热情形成鲜明对比。报道中还包括一些专家意见，他们警告说，如果年轻工人不缴纳退休金且无法自行储蓄，他们将面临艰难的退休生活。尽管有些人对国家能够如期支付养老金持怀疑态度，但专家普遍认为，北京最终将采取措施以防止社会不稳。总体而言， 彭博新闻社的报道揭示了中国退休金制度面临的多重挑战，尤其是在年轻劳动力持续流失的背景下。这些挑战不仅涉及经济层面，还影响到社会稳定和年轻一代的未来信心。面对这一复杂局势，中国政府需要在政策上做出更具体和有效的调整，以保证社会保障体系的长期可持续性。
请大家继续收看节目的六度百科对关键内容进行背景介绍。社会保障是一个由政府管理的社会福利制度，旨在向老年人、残疾人和失业人员提供经济支持和医疗保健。社会保障制度的起源可以追溯到19世纪德国的奥托·冯·俾斯麦 （Otto von Bismarck），他创建了一个强制性的国民养老金计划，旨在减少工人阶级的贫困。随着时间的推移，其他国家也纷纷效仿了这个模式，建立了自己的社会保障体系。在中国，社会保障制度的发展经历了以下几个关键阶段。1951至1978，社会保障制度主要针对国有企业职工。1978至1997，随着乡镇企业和私营企业的发展，社会保障制度开始扩大到这些领域，但覆盖范围仍然有限。1997至2009，中国开始实施一项全国性的社会保障改革，建立了统一的社会保障制度，覆盖了所有城镇职工。2010至今，社会保障体系进一步扩大，覆盖了农村居民和自雇人士。数据介绍：中国社会保障体系目前拥有庞大的规模，参保人数截至2021年，中国社会保障参保人数已超过10亿。资金规模，社会保障基金总规模超过10万亿元人民币。养老金发放，2021年中国养老金总发放额约为5.1万亿元人民币。尽管中国社会保障体系取得了显著进展，但仍面临着一些挑战。人口老龄化，中国人口迅速老龄化，导致社会保障基金的压力越来越大。城乡差距，城镇职工和农村居民之间的社会保障福利仍然存在差距。养老金缺口，预计未来中国将出现养老金缺口，这对体系的长期可持续性构成威胁。中国政府正在积极应对这些挑战，包括提高退休年龄、调整养老金计算公式，以及探索多元化养老金来源。社会保障体系在维护社会稳定和提高老年人生活质量方面发挥着至关重要的作用。
谢谢大家收看六度探索。这是一个由科学家、经济学家、媒体人、工程技术人员合作建立的新型媒体，网友与六度 AI 参与合作完成各种内容，这些内容不能作为任何决策或法律的意见。这是一个新型的试验性媒体方式，我们希望得到大家的支持，修正错误。网友可以参与讨论，也可以向万能的六博士提出你能想出的任何问题。六度世界网址是六度 World。请介绍给你的亲朋好友。 大家好，欢迎来到我们的六度解析节目。在今天的节目中，我们将深入探讨中国的独生子女政策如何在40多年前催生了经济奇迹，但如今却让国家面临前所未有的挑战。联合国最新的预测显示，中国的老龄化速度惊人，未来人口将减少1半以上，这是独生子女政策所带来的经济和社会代价。自1980年以来，这项政策促进了劳动力的增长，但同时也造成了劳动适龄人口的急剧减少。随着生育率的下降，未来所需的劳动者数量将无法支撑庞大的退休人口，导致社会负担加重。2030年后，伴随着大量退休人员的增加，中国或将面临一个严重的老年抚养问题。我们将分析这些变化对中国经济的长期影响，以及如何应对这一危机。这一切都在不断挑战着以往的人口学理论，并引发了对未来的深思。请大家继续收看详细内容。本文的主要来源是《华尔街日报》，它探讨了中国的独生子女政策及其对中国人口结构和经济的深远影响。40多年前，中国推出了独生子女政策，以应对当时的人口增长对资源的压力。这项政策的实施增强了中国的劳动队伍，因为家庭规模变小，年轻人的抚养负担减轻，从而得以提高生产力并积攒财富。这一时期与中国经济的开放相重叠，推动了经济的快速增长。然而，这项政策带来的不仅仅是短期的经济红利，也埋下了长远的隐患。由于数十年的生育限制，现在中国面临着劳动力的减少和生育年龄女性的不足。联合国的最新预测显示，中国的人口老龄化速度极快，到本世纪末可能会减少到目前人口的1半以下。在1970年代末期，中国的领导人担心人口爆炸会耗尽国家资源，于是推行了独生子女政策。这个政策在短期内确实为中国创造了经济奇迹，因为它加速了所谓的人口窗口期，即劳动适龄人口远多于儿童和老人的时期，从而为国家的经济发展提供了一个重要窗口。然而，这一政策也使得人口结构的变化更为迅速和剧烈，其后果便是中国现在面临的人口危机。联合国的人口预测显示，中国的人口窗口已经在10年前关闭，与大多数其他欠发达国家相比，中国的人口窗口期更短且变化更剧烈。其他国家的人口结构变化较为平缓，人口窗口期可能持续到2040年代，而中国则因独生子女政策的影响，已经开始面对劳动适龄人口减少、老年人口比例上升的挑战。这不仅对中国的经济增长造成压力，也影响到社会的方方面面。随着年轻劳动力的减少，中国的经济增长速度已经放缓，且很可能在未来面临更大的挑战。即使在政府采取措施支撑经济的情况下，这样的人口结构变化仍然很难逆转。未来几十年，中国的人口结构将与印度和美国形成鲜明对比。印度的人口年龄分布更为自然，且其人口已经超过中国，成为世界上人口最多的国家。而美国则通过移民流入来缓解人口老龄化的问题。中国的人口老龄化问题在本世纪中叶将更加严重，尤其是当独生子女政策下出生的人达到退休年龄，还要赡养老年父母时，这种压力会更加显著。联合国预计，到2050年，31%的中国人将达到或超过65岁，到2100年，这一比例将接近1半。这将对经济和社会福利体系构成巨大的挑战。与此同时，中国的生育率也在下降。育龄妇女数量的减少，加上许多年轻女性对传统婚姻和生育持冷淡态度，生育率难以维持在可替代水平。预计到2100年，中国每年新生儿的数量将大幅减少。在出生率下降的同时，中国的老年人口则在快速增长。预计在未来几年，中国将新增相当于加拿大人口数量的退休人员。这意味着劳动人口对老年人的抚养压力将显著增加。虽然中国的政府和学者认为，通过提高人口受教育水平和科技进步可以应对这场危机，但这并不能完全解决由于人口结构性变化带来的挑战。人工智能和自动化或许能够补充部分劳动力，但人口老龄化带来的社会和经济压力仍将是巨大的挑战。总之，中国的独生子女政策曾经助力中国成为世界经济强国，但如今它所带来的长远影响，尤其是人口老龄化和出生率下降，正成为中国未来发展中无法回避的难题。 谢谢大家收看六度探索。这是一个由科学家、经济学家、媒体人、工程技术人员合作建立的新型媒体，网友与六度 AI 参与合作完成各种内容，这些内容不能作为任何决策或法律的意见。这是一个新型的试验性媒体方式，我们希望得到大家的支持，修正错误。网友可以参与讨论，也可以向万能的六博士提出你能想出的任何问题。六度世界网址是六度 World。请介绍给你的亲朋好友。 it all, big and small they call, from city lights to countryside, we're connected after all. A laugh, a cry, a sigh, news is flying high. From city lights to countryside, we're connected after all. A laugh, a cry, a sigh, news is flying high. No matter where you are, you'll never fall from the buzz. 6-degree world, where the news comes in a row. Every story ties together like a ribbon in a twirl.
Thank 大家好，欢迎来到我们的华尔街现场节目。今天我们将深入探讨中国最新的经济刺激措施。这些措施原本应该为经济增长注入新的活力，但市场的反应却让人失望。随着全球经济的不确定性加剧，中国作为世界第二大经济体，其政策动向无疑成为了焦点。中国政府最近提出了一系列旨在促进内需和投资的刺激措施。然而，这些措施的具体内容和力度却未能如市场所愿。经济学家们警告，这些政策可能无法有效解决当前的结构性问题，尤其是在消费者信心不足和企业投资意愿低迷的情况下。尽管有承诺增加基础设施建设的投资，但企业对未来经济的悲观预期仍然使他们不愿意扩张，尤其是小型企业主更是宁愿保持现状，避免冒险。专家们指出，虽然短期内这些刺激措施可能带来一些积极影响，但仅依赖这些政策并无法解决中国经济的根本问题。结构性改革的推进才是提升内生增长动力的关键。总的来看，这次措施的推出显示了政府对经济增长的重视，但市场的反应却表明，投资者对这些措施的有效性持怀疑态度。未来，中国如何在刺激经济与推进改革之间找到平衡，将成为全球经济观察者关注的焦点。请大家继续收看详细内容。中国最新经济刺激措施令人失望。彭博社中国秀在2025年1月8日的彭博社中国秀节目中，经济学家和市场分析师深入探讨了中国最新推出的经济刺激措施。这些措施旨在提振经济增长，却让市场感到失望。中国作为世界第二大经济体，其政策动向备受国际关注，特别是在全球经济不确定性加剧的背景下。中国政府最近出台了一系列刺激措施，包括增加基础设施建设投资、减税和增加政府支出。然而，市场对这些措施的规模和力度感到失望。许多经济学家认为， 这些政策无法有效解决中国经济面临的深层结构性问题，例如消费者信心不足和企业投资意愿低迷。尽管政府承诺增加基础设施建设投资，但许多企业仍然对未来经济前景悲观，不愿扩大生产或增加招聘。这种情况在中小企业中尤为明显。中小企业主表示，他们更愿意维持现状，而不是冒险扩张。刺激措施效果有限。专家们指出，虽然政府的刺激措施可能在短期内带来一些积极影响，但长期来看，仅仅依赖刺激政策不足以解决中国经济的根本问题。中国需要进一步推进结构性改革，以提高经济的内生增长动力。市场反应消极。刺激措施的推出表明政府对经济增长的重视，但市场的反应却表明投资者对这些措施的有效性持怀疑态度。改革与刺激之间的平衡，未来中国如何在刺激经济与推进改革之间找到平衡，将成为全球经济观察者关注的焦点。对话细节，主持人，各位专家，欢迎参加今天的中国秀。中国最近推出的经济刺激措施引发了争议，这些措施的影响是什么？经济学家 A， 政府的刺激措施规模有限，无法有效解决中国经济面临的深层结构性问题。市场分析师 B， 企业投资意愿低迷是当前经济的一个主要问题，政府需要采取措施提高企业信心。政府声称刺激措施将提振经济增长，你们对此有什么看法？经济学家，刺激措施可能在短期内带来一些正面影响，但长期来看，它们无法取代结构性改革。市场对刺激措施的反应消极地表明投资者对其有效性持怀疑态度。中国未来如何在刺激经济与推进改革之间找到平衡？经济学家 A， 政府需要采取平衡的措施，既要刺激经济，又要推进改革。推进改革是提高中国经济内生增长动力的关键。谢谢各位专家的精彩见解。中国经济的未来发展值得持续关注。
请大家继续收看节目的六博士的分析评论。中国刺激措施令人失望，市场反应冷淡。在经济不确定的阴影下，中国最新推出的经济刺激措施未能达到市场预期。尽管政府承诺增加投资和促进消费，但措施的具体内容令人失望。结构性问题阻碍经济增长。专家指出，中国经济面临的结构性问题，如消费者信心不足和企业投资意愿低迷，无法通过刺激措施得到有效解决。企业对未来前景悲观，不愿扩张生产或招募员工，特别是小企业尤甚。刺激措施治标不治本。尽管基础设施投资的增加可能会带来短期提振，但专家认为，仅靠刺激政策无法解决中国经济的根本问题。中国需要推进结构性改革，提高经济内生增长动力。市场对措施有效性持怀疑态度。市场对这些刺激措施的反应表明，投资者对其有效性持怀疑态度。他们担心这些措施无法解决经济结构性问题，反而会带来更大的债务风险。中国经济的未来。中国经济的未来取决于其在刺激经济和推进改革之间的平衡。如果中国能够成功推进结构性改革，提高经济竞争力，那么刺激措施将产生积极效果。如果改革无法取得进展，那么经济增长将继续面临挑战。
思想先驱报，成为有洞察力的人。华尔街电视特别节目，纽约时间每天早上8点，李奇博士主持，和平评点。
谢谢大家收看六度探索。这是一个由科学家、经济学家、媒体人、工程技术人员合作建立的新型媒体。网友与六度 AI 参与合作完成各种内容，这些内容不能作为任何决策或法律的意见。这是一个新型的试验性媒体方式。 我们希望得到大家的支持，修正错误。网友可以参与讨论，也可以向万能的六博士提出你能想出的任何问题。六度世界网址是6du.world， 请介绍给你的亲朋好友。
这里还有一个勇敢传奇大声宣示自信。
欢迎收看六度世界制作的影片。在中国西部地区，数以万计的藏族儿童正在被送往寄宿学校，这被视为中国政府将藏族人融入国家主流的一项系统工程，目的是将他们培养成忠于共产党的公民。诸多藏族人权活动人士及联合国专家指出，中共正在系统性地将藏族儿童与家人分离，这不仅是为了消除他们的西藏身份，还旨在增强对这一历史上曾反抗北京统治的民族的控制。 他们估计，大约3/4的年满6岁或以上的藏族学童，甚至一些更年幼的孩子，目前都在这些寄宿学校就读。这些学校大部分都用普通话教授课程，取代了孩子们在家庭和村庄中学习的藏语、文化及佛教信仰。中国最高领导人习近平于今年夏天访问了青海省的一所此类学校，在那儿他视察了一间粉刷一新、整洁如军营宿舍的寄宿设施，并走进教室，观看藏族学生聆听共产党思想讲座。尽管寄宿学校在国际上饱受批评，习近平的这次视察显示了对这项计划的坚定支持。他强调，教育必须从小就在孩子的灵魂中植入共同的中华民族意识。中国官员辩称，这些学校有助于藏族儿童快速掌握流利的汉语，并学习适应现代经济所需的技能。他们表示，家庭自愿将孩子送至学校，且学校是免费的，学生们还会上藏族文化和语言课程。然而，《纽约时报》的深入调查及访谈揭示，藏族儿童似乎被中国当局刻意送入寄宿学校。专家、家长、律师以及人权调查人员表示，许多父母其实并没有其他选择，只能眼见孩子被送走，并且有时数月无法与孩子见面。系统内的中国专家和教师在数十篇研究论文及报告中警告，这些学校对藏族儿童造成了焦虑、孤独、忧郁及其他心理创伤。从《纽约时报》审查的数百个视频中可以看到，这些寄宿学校如何运作并服务于党的目标。学生生活中充满政治灌输，例如学校庆祝农奴解放日，这是纪念1959年共产党全面接管西藏后的周年纪念日。共产党指责西藏精神领袖达赖喇嘛统治着一个奴隶制社会，并将这些思想灌输给学生。
打扫卫生，今天谁做？
《纽约时报》还发现，有些寄宿学校教师及游客在视频中展示了资金不足的校舍和捉襟见肘的情况。我们不会将某些账户的姓名记录下来，以免引起对他们的反响。中国一直在扩大西藏儿童的寄宿学校规模，而与此同时，美国、加拿大和澳洲等国一直在努力应对几代原住民儿童所遭受的创伤。这些儿童被强行从家人身边带走，并安置在寄宿学校。拜登总统于10月代表美国政府就1800年代初至1960年代末寄宿学校虐待原住民儿童的行为道歉，称其为我们灵魂的罪恶。而中国则热衷于展示快乐、吃得饱的藏族儿童，自豪地宣称自己是中国人。对于那些远离家乡的藏族孩子，其中的危险不仅仅来自于语言和文化的丧失，他们还面临着受到虐待和忽视的风险。来自藏区的年轻人发出了一系列紧急要求法律建议的简讯，诉说着他们在寄宿学校遭遇的不幸经历。比如，有人询问一名因老师缺席而在课堂上打架受伤的孩子该如何获得补偿，还有孩子被发现死在学校浴室的事件，父母竭力寻求真相。中国政府未透露有多少藏族儿童在这类学校就读，但西藏行动研究所估计至少有80万儿童，这代表每4个藏族儿童中就有3个。他们将这些寄宿学校比作历史上加拿大、澳洲和美国的殖民寄宿机构，这些学校对孩子们的基础造成心理伤害和创伤，破坏了文化和家庭纽带。地方政府文件显示，一些藏区的寄宿学校人数比例极高，甚至有些地区的青少年几乎全部就读此类学校。这种趋势与国家政策意图相悖，而同时中国政府也在为少数民族地区的年轻一代划定界限，认为这些孩子的宗教和文化观念可能会对国家稳定构成威胁。大家好，欢迎来到我们的华尔街现场节目。今天我们要深入探讨一个极具挑战性且发人深省的话题，那就是中国政府如何透过寄宿学校系统性地将数十万藏族儿童与其家庭分开。这些孩子不仅被迫接受普通话教育，还被灌输对于中国共产党的忠诚与爱国价值观，这一切都是为了消除他们的藏族身份和文化。 我们的报道显示，这些寄宿学校背后的目的并不仅仅是教育，而是习近平政府为了加强对藏族人民的控制与同化的手段。许多藏族儿童在这些学校中面临着虐待、心理创伤和与家人长时间失去联系的风险。在这样的情况下，这些孩子们的文化和身份正受到前所未有的威胁。随着寄宿学校的扩张，许多藏族家庭别无选择，必须将孩子送入这些学校，尽管这意味着他们将与自己的文化和语言渐行渐远。中国政府声称这样的做法是自愿的，但实际上却是对民族身份的系统性消灭。这不仅是对藏族儿童的侵犯，更是对整个文化的摧毁。在今天的节目中，我们将深入挖掘这一问题的各个层面，并听取专家和受影响家庭的声音。请大家继续收看详细内容。藏族寄宿学校扩张的背后，反映出习近平政府对少数民族使用汉语以及注重统一价值观的期望。然而，这种文化上的同化政策在西藏地区面临着更大的阻力。来自家长、教师和研究人员的报告显示，许多藏族儿童因长期与家人分离而遭受心理上的痛苦，并在缺乏资源的学校中面临各种困难。西藏地区的情况与新疆的穆斯林维吾尔儿童有些相似，在那里，寄宿学校也大量接收来自边远地区的儿童。中国政府宣称这些学校旨在避免长途通勤，但同时也在强调少数民族地区的孩子们必须接受党的价值观教育，以避免受到错误的宗教和民族观念的影响。一些来自中国内部的研究和报告揭示了寄宿学校对于藏族儿童的负面影响，从心理创伤到文化疏离，这些警示声音往往来自教育系统内部的教师和研究人员。一些教育期刊上的文章建议，透过营造更温馨的校园环境来帮助孩子们克服困境。然而，在偏远藏区的许多学校，由于设施和人力资源的不足，这些建议往往难以实施。尽管有这些困难，一些老师仍然为政策辩护，认为最终对孩子有利。但一些研究指出，家长和教师普遍反对将幼儿送到寄宿学校，因为这与他们的文化价值观相悖。教育政策的敏感性使得反对寄宿学校的藏人面临着被监禁的风险。许多人担心，这些学校对藏族语言和文化的削弱，可能会对未来的藏族身份认同产生深远的影响。在社群媒体上，家长们公开表示对藏语在孩子生活中作用减弱的担忧，并表达了无奈和不安。整体来看，藏族寄宿学校的扩张以及相关政策的实施，不仅对西藏地区的儿童及其家庭产生深远影响，还引发了国际社会对人权和文化同化问题的广泛关注。在这一过程中，寄宿学校不仅成为了教育场域，也成为了中共推行其少数民族政策的重要工具。这一现象仍在引发着持续的争论和批评。谢谢大家收看六度探索。这是一个由科学家、经济学家、媒体人、工程技术人员合作建立的新型媒体，网友与六度 AI 参与合作完成各种内容，这些内容不能作为任何决策或法律的意见。这是一个新型的试验性媒体方式，我们希望得到大家的支持，修正错误。网友可以参与讨论，也可以向万能的六博士提出你能想出的任何问题。六度世界网址是六度 World。请介绍给你的亲朋好友。
Morning sunlight on the street, city whispers soft and sweet, faces mix in daily grind, every story intertwined, cultures blend like colors bright, languages in the silent night. On the table, stories told, food and feast upon so bold. People living day by day, in the heart they find their way. Sharing moments, voices sing, in this world of everything. Society and rhythms beat, entertainment's fleeting drawing dreams till after dark. Elders speak of days gone by, washing shadows from the sky. People living day by day, in the heart they find their way, sharing moments, voices sing, in this world of everything. Society and rhythms beat, entertainment's fleeting heat, sharing moments, voices sing, in this world of everything. Scrolling through the headlines, another crazy day. 6 degrees of stories, connecting in their way. From the weather to the sports, and everything we see. People making news on TV screens for free. 6-degree world, where the news comes in a whirl. Every story ties together like a ribbon in a twirl. Sit back and watch it all, big and small they call. From city lights to countryside, we're connected after all. Cry, sigh, news is flying high. From city lights to countryside, we're connected after all. A laugh, a cry, a sigh, news is flying high. No matter where you are, you'll never fall from the buzz. 6-degree world, where the news comes in a whirl. Every story ties together like a ribbon in a twirl.
是有规律的。
那发生在你身上的规律应该是什么？
发生在我身上的规律就是一种突然的意识，到了我的身体里面，再用这个身体，借用这个身体存在，然后写出来东西给别人看。
视频开头，画面里一身橙色的年轻人，各位可能不太熟悉，但他写的书《明朝那些事儿》，您很有可能听过。这段视频来自2009年10月20日播出的央视面对面采访，采访对象叫石悦。2025年1月7日，网络疯传石悦送医了，被确诊为精神分裂症。大家好，欢迎关注华尔街电视频道。
本视频录制时间为美东时间1月7日。这一期热点深度重点关注一个令人震惊的消息。据传，明朝那些事的作者石悦，笔名当年明月，竟然被诊断为精神分裂症。微博上1月7日，有个叫弃之者逐的用户发帖暗示称，去年吃到一个瓜，国内某 top 级的作者上过作家富豪榜，不过封笔多年了，因为猥亵女领导被现场抓包。但这人以前不这样，送去检查才发现人疯了，已经送到精神病医院了。一开始还都是内部在惋惜这位人，没想到最近在好多地方都看到了这条消息。按照这个速度发展，估计用不了多久就会曝光出来了。10月，这个写出过现象级畅销书，荣登过中国作家富豪榜，还是深谙官场的体制内副局级干部，怎么突然会被传猥亵女领导被现场抓包，送医后发现人疯了？需要说明的是，截至写稿这会，仍没有10月出事的确切消息。其实验证的方法也很简单，石悦是现任上海市人民政府研究室副主任，可以直接给上海市人民政府研究室的办公室打个电话，问问石悦有没有来上班就行了。只是石悦突然成为网络焦点，让人好奇，一路提携他的贵人，上海市市长龚正的仕途。本期热点深度，我们一点点来说。石悦，笔名为当年明月，1979年10月出生，汉族，籍贯湖北宜昌。据未证实的消息称，高中毕业后，石悦考上的是湖北警官学院。当年这只是一所专科学校，后来网上流传的毕业于中南财经政法大学法律毕业是石悦后来在职攻读的学业，完成了本科学业。最新的任职公示中，他为在职大学学历也印证了这一点。2000年7月，21岁的石悦大学毕业参加工作，任职于佛山海关驻顺德办事处。2006年12月加入中国共产党。2006年3月10日起，石悦以当年明月为笔名，在天涯社区煮酒论史板块连载创作历史帖子《明朝那些事》，历史也可以写得很好看，讲述从1344年到1644年这300年间关于明朝的故事。起初，石悦只是抱着一种做业余爱好的心态来向大家分享自己对历史的感悟，没想到的是，他的随笔意外大火，文章点击率突破1000万，他所用语言全是时下最通俗的话。这种通俗和流行的笔法，让他写的历史读来有趣，与众不同。后来，石悦的文章因为高热度被出版社看中，明朝那些事儿便在连载的同时正式出版成册。2006年9月，明朝那些事儿朱元璋卷首印5万册，加印20万册，马上被一抢而空。不知不觉，当年明月这个网名已成为一个极具号召力的品牌。联想集团董事长柳传志在提到明朝那些事儿的时候，夸赞这是本好书，除了把史实摆出来，还要评论、挖掘，用现代的语言去说，他有他的角度。虽然已经在写作上取得了巨大的成功，但他并没有辞职，专心研究历史。在2009年接受央视面对面节目专访时，他说，我觉得工作是工作。我爸跟我说，无论你出多大名也好，出多大风头也好，你都得有一份正经的工作。石悦凭借明朝那些事儿多次上榜中国作家富豪榜，截至2014年，该书累计销量过1000万册，版税达4100万元。而明朝那些事儿完结后，石悦就很少出现在公众视野中，因为石悦一头扎进仕途之中。2013年4月，石悦任环境保护部宣交中心综合室副主任。2013年10月至2014年12月，前往环境保护部定点帮扶县河北省隆化县挂职任副县长。2016年2月任中国出版传媒股份有限公司子公司中版文化传播有限公司副总经理。2018年5月，升任山东省人民政府办公厅综合处处长。时任省长是曾在海关系统工作过的龚正。2020年龚正调任上海后，石悦也跟着来到上海工作，担任上海市委对外宣传办公室、上海市人民政府新闻办公室副主任。2021年7月，拟任上海市直机关副局职。2021年7月15日，担任上海市人民政府研究室副主任。工作内容之一，应该是专门负责起草公正的讲话稿。从海关到山东，再到上海，石悦的贵人正是现任上海市市长龚正。2021年7月，上海市委组织部发布干部任前公示，42岁的上海市委对外宣传办公室、上海市人民政府新闻办公室副主任石悦，拟升任市级机关副局职。 现在大家也知道，石悦的另一个身份为畅销书《明朝那些事儿》，作者笔名当年明月。星岛日报的报道提到，据了解，石悦得到上海市长龚正赏识。2018年，龚正担任山东省长时，招揽石悦为秘书，出任山东省政府办公厅综合处处长，再把他带到上海。此番传出石悦封了宋一，会和石悦的贵人龚正相关吗？现任上海市市长龚正1960年3月生，到2025年就65周岁了。按照正省部级退休年龄65周岁划线，龚正按理说是在上海市长的位置上做到2025年退休。2024年7月，联合早报的报道曾提到，中国财政部排名第2的副部长朱忠明调任上海，出任中共上海市委副书记，不排除未来可能接任上海市长。说到龚正，李强、龚正还有已经离世的廖国勋曾在浙江共事过3个月，当时3人分别担任浙江省长、杭州市委书记、浙江省委组织部长。龚正是江苏苏州人，1978年考入北京对外贸易学院海关管理专业，毕业后分配至海关总署，其后仕途分成2部分。2008年前在海关系统深耕26年，历任海关总署以及天津、深圳海关。2008年后由县转面，历任浙鲁沪3个东部经济强省。但龚正做的这个上海市长被认为颇为失意。2022年中共20大后，民报在标题为之江新军失意20大中提到，本来上海市长龚正被看好是接替李强顺位书记并入局的热门人选。2022年62岁的龚出身海关系统，曾任深圳关长，后到浙江任副省长、杭州书记，被归入之江新军。他7年前北上山东，先任副书记，后任省长。报议后，上海市长英勇赴湖北救火，龚正南下接英勇的班。今次20大他一无所获，而到山东接替他的李干杰却得以入局。那龚正在退休前，是不是得安排下小老弟石悦的仕途？传出石悦封了宋一，是在安排石悦位置的时候出了什么问题吗？还是石悦自保，学习借鉴唐寅，避祸自存？在明朝那些事儿中都有类似的故事。明太祖朱元璋疑心太重，大臣袁凯为避祸装疯，朱元璋派人监视是否真疯。袁凯让家人以炒面做成大粪状，狂吃猛吃，这才让朱元璋相信，于是不再与他计较，继而保住小命。这段出自石悦在编写明朝那些事儿参考的《明史纪事本末》。于绍文故老坛景文，既已即归，使家人以炒面搅砂糖，从竹筒出之，壮类猪犬下等于前不于离根水崖，景文匍匐往取食之。太祖使人归之，以为食不解矣，其所谓自免于祸者也。据说石悦在写作时间上公私分得很清，朝9晚5的上班时间内绝对不干私活，所有与写作有关的事都放在下班以后。他笑言，我白天是我，晚上就是明月。据说当年在顺德海关，石悦就是一个平平无奇的存在，内向寡言，不太合群，较少参与聚会 K 歌酒局，独来独往，工作上也不显山露水。领导对石悦的评价是很一般，但就是这样低调的石悦，20年从法律大专生到副厅级上海市管干部。曾经在网络论坛掘金发现当年明月的出版人沈浩波谈到石悦，曾说石悦他并不希望自己出名的状态，一直不太适应，他希望自己消失在人海里，做一个普通人，把工作做好，有自己的兴趣爱好，生活上比较简单。2009年接受央视采访时，石悦也坦言自己思想上像老人，具体行动像婴儿。再回到石悦的书《明朝那些事》，最后一章写完历史人物了，结尾的时候，石悦突然开始写徐霞客的事，通过徐霞客引入结语。是的，这就是我想说最完美的结束语。成功只有一个，按照自己的方式去度过人生。石悦一头扎进历史，是否产生了虚无感？认为朝代轮替没有意义，人要好好活自己。但在中国官场的经历中，石悦走差了，容易疯。
好了，以上就是今天热点深度所有内容，更多资讯可以关注6度简报网站，网址是6dobrief.com， 在上面各位可以订阅各类符合您喜好的简报新闻，有免费套餐，也有更加专业的付费套餐供大家选择。今天的视频就到这里，我们下个视频再见。
Empty smiles, their words misleading. Our games in darkened rooms, spend their lives to seal our doom. Turn on the screen, monsters screaming. Empty smiles, their words misleading. Our games in darkened rooms, spend their lives to seal our doom. They talk about freedom, justice, fate. Behind their walls, shadows take. Thought the tears with strings of steel. Promises broken, deals they conceal. We're just numbers in their cold hands. Fight the castles built on sand. Rise up now, reclaim the night of their truth in blinding light. Elections and deals in the dark. Voices lost in power's arc. Leaders laugh while we cry. Change the rules, make us comply. Propaganda noise fills the air. They own the voices unaware. Revolution, stir in the streets. Claim the thunder, feel the beat. Whispers grow, the angry shout. Tear their towers, bring them out. Every soul in this fight, drag their lives into the light. Turn on the screen, monsters screaming. Empty smiles, their words misleading. Every soul in this fight, drag their lives into the light.
Oh. 大家好，欢迎来到我们的六度解析节目。今天我们要深入探讨一个引人注目的外交动作，中国国家主席习近平将派遣高级特使出席唐纳德·川普的就职典礼。这一前所未有的举措，显示出北京在面对即将上任的美国政府时，试图减少两国之间的摩擦和紧张局势。特使的出席不仅是外交礼仪，更是中美关系的一个关键信号。我们将分析这一动作背后的战略考量，以及中国如何选择合适的官员来代表习近平，并且可能与川普团队进行的实质性会谈。面对美国新任期内可能出现的贸易和安全挑战，中国的外交姿态可以说是迫在眉睫。随着川普任命了一系列对华强硬的官员，北京的应对策略显得尤为重要。习近平选择派遣高级特使而不是直接出席，是否能够在不冒风险的情况下为中美关系铺设良好的开端？让我们一起深入剖析这一事件的深层意义。请大家继续收看详细内容。金融时报近日报道，中国国家主席习近平将派遣一位高级特使出席即将来临的美国总统唐纳德·川普的就职典礼。这一举动被视为一个非同寻常的外交姿态，显示出北京方面在面对美国新政府可能加剧的紧张局势时，试图以更高层次的外交手段来缓解两国间的摩擦。据几位熟悉内情的消息人士透露，中国已告知川普的过渡团队，将由一位高级官员代表习近平出席就职典礼。这些消息人士进一步表示，这位特使还将与川普团队进行会谈。 川普在其总统任期开始之际，向习近平发出了不同寻常的直接邀请，这反映了他希望能够与中国领导人保持高层次的接触，延续其在白宫第一个任期内的外交方针。北京方面对于与华盛顿之间的摩擦非常敏感，尤其是在贸易紧张局势可能急剧升级的情况下，这一点在美国11月大选前就已显现。当时，中国官员难以与川普的顾问见面，这使得北京担心可能对美国新政府对华政策的任何转变措手不及。考虑到上述背景，习近平可能考虑派遣副主席韩正出任特使，韩正曾多次代表他执行礼仪性职责。另一个潜在的选择是外交部长王毅。然而，一位知情人士指出，川普阵营中的一些顾问更希望由政治局常委蔡奇出席。蔡奇是习近平的得力助手，拥有比韩或王更大的权力。另一名熟悉过渡团队内部观点的人士也表达了类似的担忧。他们认为，如果仅派韩或王这样级别的特使出席，可能会让川普感到不满，尤其是考虑到他已经亲自邀请了中国领导人。这种情况反映了对于中国需要派遣适当级别的官员来与美国建立一个良好的开端的关注。外交分析人士指出，王毅作为职业外交官，其级别可能不被视为足够高，比起蔡奇和韩正，这或许不足以体现中方的重视程度。值得注意的是，过去中国通常由其驻美大使代表外交事宜，因此此次派遣高级官员出席是一个史无前例的举措。前白宫中国问题高级顾问丹尼斯·怀尔德指出，习近平可能认为川普的行事风格难以预测，因此不愿冒着亲自参加仪式可能带来的风险。通过派遣一位具有重要地位的特使，习近平可以对川普政府表达希望建立良好关系的意愿，而无需承担公开场合可能带来的尴尬。此外，这位特使的任务不仅仅是参加就职仪式，还包括与川普新团队进行实质性的讨论。北京正在为与华盛顿的可能动荡做准备，尤其是在川普选择了一系列对华立场强硬的人士担任国家安全的最高职位。川普即将上任的国家安全顾问麦克沃尔兹以及他的副手亚历克斯黄在政治圈中被视为对中国态度强硬的代表。此外，川普提名美国共和党参议员马可·卢比奥担任国务卿，卢比奥也是国会中最直言不讳的对华鹰派之一。川普本人于本周表示，他的团队已经与北京方面进行了接触。在接受休伊特广播节目采访时，川普提到，我们一直在透过他们的代表进行交谈。他还在此场合将2020年的新冠疫情归咎于中国。这一系列发展表明，中美两国在川普就任之际，正试图通过外交渠道调整彼此的关系。特使的派遣被视为北京方面愿意与美国新政府建立开放和建设性对话的一种表达方式，也是试图在新政府可能带来的政策变动之前，稳住中美关系的一种策略。这种高层次的外交接触不仅仅具有仪式性意义，更可能为双方在复杂的双边事务上提供直接而高效的沟通渠道。随着川普政府的上台，未来的中美关系走向充满了不确定性。北京方面的这一主动举措，无疑是希望能够在双边关系中寻找到平衡，以减少潜在的对抗，并为未来的合作奠定基础。无论最终由哪位官员代表中国出席，这次就职典礼的结果都将成为观察中美未来外交互动的重要指标。
请大家继续收看节目的六度百科，对关键内容进行背景介绍。特使是指代表国家元首或政府执行特殊外交任务的个人。他们通常由元首或政府首脑任命，并被授予特定职权，处理特定问题或事件。特使的任命可以追溯到古代，当时君主派遣使者传递信息或执行外交使命。在现代外交中，特使的作用变得越来越重要，尤其是在处理复杂的国际问题或危机时。特使制度在外交史上扮演着重要的角色。一些著名的特使包括亨利·基辛格，美国总统尼克松的国家安全顾问，被派往中国与周恩来总理进行秘密会谈，最终导致中美关系正常化。科菲·安南，联合国秘书长，被委派调停科索沃战争和达尔富尔冲突。 拉赫达尔·布拉希米联合国特别代表被派往阿富汗帮助组建过渡政府和监督2004年总统选举。数据介绍，特使的任命和活动数量随着国际格局的变化而波动。根据联合国的数据，2018年联合国秘书长派遣了21名特使。2020年，由于 COVID-19 大流行，特使派遣数量下降至12名。2023年，特使派遣数量预计将增加，因为世界继续应对乌克兰战争、气候变化和其他全球挑战。作用和任务，特使的作用和任务多种多样，包括代表本国者参与国际谈判和会谈，传达本国的讯息和政策，促进各方之间的对话和合作，帮助调解冲突和争端，监视和报告冲突地区或危机国家的情况。资格和任命，特使通常具有以下资格：对国际事务的深入了解，外交、谈判和问题解决能力，强有力的沟通和人际交往技巧，对任命任务的具体知识或经验。特使由国家元首或政府首脑任命，任期由指派国家自行决定。
谢谢大家收看六度探索。这是一个由科学家、经济学家、媒体人、工程技术人员合作建立的新型媒体，网友与六度 AI 参与合作完成各种内容，这些内容不能作为任何决策或法律的意见。这是一个新型的试验性媒体方式，我们希望得到大家的支持，修正错误。网友可以参与讨论，也可以向万能的六博士提出你能想出的任何问题。六度世界网址是六度 World。请介绍给你的亲朋好友。
Great dragon waves ancient streets, leading change with modern beats. Cities rise and towers peak, new dawn breaking bold and sleek. From the Great Wall to Shanghai, progress moves as kites fly high. Tech and trade, it's all in play. Future shines brighter every day. Great dragon roar, change the cars marching strong with mighty force. Politicians make their plea, voices blend in harmony. Policies for growth and peace, ambitions never cease. Dreams of silk and digital, bridging gaps from old to new. Fortunes build and bonds renew, nations strengthen, bold review. Traditions hold, but minds explore. East meets west and knowledge door. Complex world they navigate, China's power demonstrates. From the Great Wall to Shanghai, progress moves as kites fly high. Tech and trade, it's all the play. Future shines brighter every day. Great dragon roars, change the course. Marching strong with mighty force. New era, new way, fast-paced day. History made in bold display. Politicians make their plea, voices blend in harmony. Policies for growth and peace, ambitions their growth and peace. New era, new way, fast-paced day. History made in bold display. History made in bold display. Politicians make their plea, voices blend in harmony. Policies for growth and peace, ambitions never cease. Dreams of silk and digital, bridging gaps from old to new. Fortunes build and bonds renew, nations strengthen, bold review. Traditions hold but minds explore, East meets West at knowledge door. Complex world they navigate, China's power never cease. Dreams of silk and digital, bridging gaps from old to new. Fortunes build and bonds renew, nations strengthen, bold review. Traditions hold but minds explore, East meets West at knowledge door. Complex world they navigate, China's power demonstrates. China's power demonstrates. China's power demonstrates.
大家好，欢迎来到我们的6度解析节目。今天我们将深入探讨中国的新大语言模型 DeepSeek V3，以及它如何揭示川普贸易战的弱点。这个模型不仅在技术上令人瞩目，还对全球贸易和国家安全带来了挑战。DeepSeek 的出现显示，在无法获得高端晶片的情况下，中国依然能够以低成本开发出高效的人工智慧系统，这可能会引发其他国家的关注与效仿。彭博社的经济学教授泰勒·考恩指出，这一创新不仅挑战了美国的贸易限制政策，也带来了意想不到的后果，可能会让全球的人工智慧竞争格局发生变化。我们将深入分析这些政策的直接影响以及它们的长期后果，并探讨在国家安全与技术创新之间的微妙平衡。请大家继续收看详细内容。彭博社是全球知名的彭博新闻社旗下的一个金融信息与媒体公司，提供全球财经新闻、市场数据、分析工具等服务。本文由彭博社的专栏作家和乔治梅森大学经济学教授泰勒·考恩撰写，他以其深入的经济学见解和对国际事务的独到分析而闻名。近年来，人工智能技术的突破已成为常态，以至于区分真正的技术进步与偶然的进展变得愈加困难。然而，最近来自中国的一项创新引起了广泛关注，这就是新型大型语言模型 DeepSeek V3 的推出。该模型不仅在技术上具有重要意义，还影响到了国际贸易，尤其是在中美贸易关系中。泰勒·考恩在文章中提到，他已经使用了 DeepSeek 一段时间，认为这是他最近几年使用过的最优秀的语言模型之一。DeepSeek 的表现快速且简便，并且提供免费版本，尽管在处理复杂问题方面上不能与美国的顶级模型相媲美，但它依然被认为是顶级模型之一。这一评价也得到了其他测试人员的认可。DeepSeek 的几个特点尤为引人注目。首先，它的开发者并非传统的科技公司，而是一家对冲基金，这可能促使我们重新思考人工智能技术的开发者类别。其次 ，DeepSeek 的训练成本极低，据估计仅为550万美元，这个数字不包括计算以外的其他成本，而这些成本通常在类似项目中是会被考虑的。最值得注意的是 ，DeepSeek 并没有使用最高品质的半导体芯片。美国总统拜登的政府出于国家安全考虑，一直努力限制这些芯片的对华出口，目的在于减缓中国在人工智能和相关军事技术上的进展。由于无法使用最新的芯片 ，DeepSeek 在模型训练过程中不得不探索更便宜的替代方案。考恩承认，他过去支持这些贸易限制，因为人工智能技术与国家安全息息相关。但现在他认为，这样的禁令过于激进，难以真正奏效。禁令或许可以延缓中国人工智能的发展数年，但同时也催生了中国的重大创新及 DeepSeek 的研发。这一事件表明，开发高质量的人工智能系统并不一定需要巨额资金。这一发现可能会使俄罗斯、伊朗、巴基斯坦等国家看到开发类似系统的现实可能性。甚至可以想象，一位富有的外国亿万富翁可能会发起类似的项目，尽管面临人员方面的限制。无论中国的系统有何潜在危险及用途，其他国家因 DeepSeek 而受到启发的分支可能更令人担忧。无论如何，寻找更廉价的方法来构建人工智能系统几乎是不可避免的。美国政策在阻止中国在人工智能系统中使用高品质芯片方面取得了一定的国家安全利益，但同时也加快了不依赖高品质芯片的有效人工智能系统的开发。这种政策带来的权衡是否有利，仍待观察。不仅是狭义上的考虑，关于 DeepSeek 的动机、定价策略、未来计划以及与中国政府的关系，仍有许多问题未解或难以解答。在更广泛的背景下，这种权衡本身也引发了很多不确定性。考恩引用了奥地利经济学家路德维希·米塞斯的观点，政府干预会产生重要且意想不到的次要后果。要判断一项政策是否有效，不仅要考虑其直接影响，还需考量其二阶和三阶效应。芯片限制的一个次要效应可能促使一些中国企业通过第三方国家获取高品质芯片，或者租用在非中国人工智能系统上使用高品质芯片的时间。在这种情况下，中国的企业可能根本不需要直接购买芯片，至少在某些用途上是这样。尽管美国正在对该行业实施更严格的控制，但它是否真的能够微观管理全球市场？对此，考恩表示越来越怀疑。 在对中国实施进一步贸易限制时，特朗普政府和未来的美国政府需要仔细研究其前任政策的意外后果。可以肯定的是，一些不是全部非人工智能的贸易限制是基于国家安全的考虑。然而，任何政策的一阶效应并非故事的终结。例如，如果联邦政府决定限制或对在美国销售的中国商品或服务征税，中国可能通过第三方重新品牌同样的商品。许多亚洲国家愿意提供协助。这是因为规避规则的企业家行动速度往往比官僚更快。从抽象的角度看，国家安全的论点很有说服力。然而，在实际操作中，制定保护国家安全的政策是极具挑战性的。思考如何在实际中更好地践行理论是一个极为重要的任务。通过这个例子，考恩提醒我们，政策的有效性不仅取决于其显著的初始效果，还需要我们对可能的次要和第三层次影响保持警惕和敏感。这不仅是为了更好地理解技术创新的动态性，也是为了确保国家安全政策的实际有效性和可持续性。在全球化和技术变革加速的背景下，这种思考显得尤为重要。
请大家继续收看节目的六度百科，对关键内容进行背景介绍。人工智能 AI 是指机器模仿人类智力行为的能力，包括学习、推理、解决问题和决策制定等方面。人工智能的根源可以追溯到1950年代，当时计算机科学家开始探索机器学习和自然语言处理的可能性。1956年，约翰·麦卡锡首次创造了人工智能一词。20世纪80年代，专家系统和机器学习演算法的出现，标志着人工智能领域的重大进步。历史，若人工智能 AI 能够执行特定任务的系统，例如人脸识别或语音辨识。窄人工智能 AI 专注于单一领域并具有高度专业化的系统。一般人工智能 AGI 能够执行与人类相同的广泛任务的系统。超人工智能 ACI 超越人类智力的系统，具有创造力和自我意识。数据介绍，人工智能投资，根据麦肯锡全球研究所预计到2030年，人工智能对全球经济的影响将达到13万亿美元。人工智能工作，国际机器人联盟预测，到2025年，人工智能将创造超过2000万个新工作。人工智能应用，人工智能已被广泛应用于医疗保健、金融、零售、制造和交通等行业。人工智能伦理，随着人工智能的快速发展，有关其潜在影响的伦理考量也日益增加，包括偏见、责任和失业。人工智能人才缺口，全球对熟练人工智能专业人员的需求不断增加，但合格的候选人供应有限。结论，人工智能是一项快速发展的技术，具有改变各行各业的巨大潜力。从仿生机器人到自主车辆，人工智能正在塑造着我们的未来，并创造着前所未有的机会和挑战。随着人工智能技术的持续进步，了解其定义、背景、历史和数据变动至关重要，以应对其对社会和经济带来的影响。
谢谢大家收看六度探索。这是一个由科学家、经济学家、媒体人、工程技术人员合作建立的新型媒体，网友与六度 AI 参与合作完成各种内容，这些内容不能作为任何决策或法律的意见。这是一个新型的试验性媒体方式，我们希望得到大家的支持，修正错误。网友可以参与讨论，也可以向万能的六博士提出你能想出的任何问题。六度世界网址是六度 World。请介绍给你的亲朋好友。 大家好，欢迎来到我们的6度解析节目。今天我们将深入探讨川普如何与中国达成贸易协议的过程，以及未来可能的挑战与机会。自从川普上任以来，他对中国的贸易政策可谓是跌宕起伏，从威胁加征关税到签署第一阶段的贸易协议，这一切都在不断改变的国际局势中进行。随着全球经济环境的恶化，第二阶段谈判的可能性看似岌岌可危。我们将分析川普政府在第一阶段谈判中的策略，以及如何将未完成的承诺和新兴障碍重新纳入讨论。中国在面对自身经济挑战的同时，可能会考虑与美国达成协议的必要性，但这绝非易事。报告指出，双方在贸易和技术限制方面的互动越发复杂，尤其是在疫情后的背景下。最终，我们将探讨华盛顿如何在即将来临的第二阶段谈判中，重新审视对北京的要求，以确保达成更具建设性的协议。这不仅关乎两国的经济未来，也将影响全球经济的走向。请大家继续收看详细内容。本文由外交政策杂志的作者温蒂·卡特勒撰写，温蒂·卡特勒 （Wendy Cutler） 是亚洲协会政策研究所副所长兼华盛顿办事处董事总经理。他曾在奥巴马政府期间担任美国代理副贸易代表。温蒂·卡特勒在文中深入探讨了美国前总统唐纳德·川普与中国在贸易协议上的互动，并就如何推进第二阶段的谈判提出了若干建议。文章背景设置在中美之间的贸易摩擦持续升温之际，特别是在川普政府对华关税政策的影响下。川普在竞选期间和就职初期多次强调中国在贸易中占了美国的便宜，并威胁对中国商品征收高达 60% 的关税，旨在施压中国政府。然而，这些措施的真正目的令人疑惑，究竟是为了迫使中国回到谈判桌，还是意图进一步分裂两国经济？川普的财政部长提名人史考特·贝森特则支持利用关税作为谈判筹码，而美国贸易代表提名的杰米森·格里尔则更倾向于与中国战略脱钩。在川普的任期内，美国与中国达成了第一阶段贸易协议，这被他誉为历史性的成就。该协议要求中国在2年内购买价值2000亿美元的美国商品和服务，并进一步要求中国加强智慧财产权保护，减少技术转移要求，取消美国农产品出口壁垒等。虽然中国履行了部分承诺，但未能达到采购目标。随着时间的推移，第二阶段谈判的必要性愈加显现，尤其是在补贴、国有企业改革、产能过剩等问题上。自第一阶段协议签署后，双方并未能启动第二阶段谈判。这一方面是因为 COVID-19 大流行加剧了两国紧张关系，另一方面也因为双方在第一阶段谈判后需要时间缓解疲惫。6年过去，双方贸易与技术限制进一步加剧，互相依赖度降低。中国透过增加补贴和扩大国营企业力量来加强其国家在经济中的角色，同时将多余产能推向国际市场，这些因素使得全球顺差达到新高。在此背景下，川普的政策在某种程度上被认为具有挑战性的交易撮合者的色彩，他相信自己有能力实现过去被认为不可能的目标。尽管中美贸易谈判的前景看似暗淡，但中国基于其经济利益考量，可能会选择与美国达成协议，以避免威胁到双边每年6000亿美元的贸易关系。如果川普决定重启谈判，美国应该从第一阶段谈判中汲取经验教训，重新审视和更新先前的要求，包括对中方的采购承诺进行现实化的调整，定期监控进度，并将产品与美国私营部门的产能和需求重新匹配。此外，新一轮的贸易协议不应仅限于解决双边贸易不平衡问题，还应努力限制中国使用补贴和金融援助的手段，减少国内需求不足导致的生产过剩。若无法取得实质性进展，美国可以考虑通过设定进口配额来防止不公平贸易产品的流入，而不是只是单方面提高关税。中国企业正在将生产转移至东南亚和墨西哥等地，以规避美国关税。为了达到长久的效果，美国应该在与中国的协议中纳入这些对第三国市场投资的考量。这可以通过加强反规避措施、完善原产地规则、提高透明度以及对特定企业的出口禁令来解决。货币政策的考量对于美中贸易协议也是至关重要的。 即使有资本外流的风险，中国可能会选择让人民币贬值以保护其出口商。第一阶段协议中的货币条款需要进一步强化，以确保潜在协议的目标不受货币波动的影响。双方还应该考虑取消非战略性领域的关税，采用分阶段的方法，逐步涵盖从低价值消费品到低技术制造业产品和机械。最终，任何新的协议都需要强而有力的执行机制，确保在中国未能履行义务时，美国有能力立即采取惩罚措施。这些建议固然存在推动上的挑战，尤其是在如何吸引中国加入谈判方面。中国谈判代表必然会提出自己的要求，很多可能对美国来说无法接受，如放松对技术出口的控制。然而，一个值得探索的领域是美国为中国的特定投资打开大门，这一点已经引起了川普的兴趣。川普曾在集会中表达对中国在美国汽车投资的欢迎，因为这可能会为美国工人带来利益。不过，美国的其他贸易伙伴可能会对与中国达成的任何协议表示抗议，担心这会改变中国对其市场的出口，影响其国内的外国直接投资，并可能违反世界贸易组织的规定。华盛顿应努力减轻这些担忧，说服合作伙伴接受这一新的贸易方向，并继续发展替代供应链以减少依赖。格里尔指出，华盛顿应该致力于从根本上改变美国与中国的贸易关系。这些建议的目标即在于此。川普的第二个任期内关税政策的具体时间、幅度和目标国尚不确定，但毫无疑问，关税措施将继续成为其政策工具箱中的一部分。就像川普时期的其他政策一样，未来的动向可能随时改变。然而，基于其交易主义的背景，即便面临挑战，第二阶段的贸易谈判可能正在酝酿中。关键是这一次华盛顿必须做出正确的决策。
请大家继续收看节目的六度百科，对关键内容进行背景介绍。美中贸易协议指的是美国和中国之间的贸易协定，主要目的是调整和促进双边贸易关系。这些协议是全球经济的重要组成部分，因为美国和中国是世界上最大的两个经济体。美中贸易协议通常涉及关税、贸易壁垒、知识产权保护、技术转让和农产品出口等多个方面。美中贸易协议的背景可以追溯到两国的经济互动历史。在20世纪末和21世纪初，中国的经济改革和市场开放政策使其成为全球贸易的重要参与者。美国企业迅速进入中国市场，中国出口也大量进入美国市场。这种双向贸易的增长，促使两国需要建立更正式的贸易框架来管理和解决贸易争端。2018年，随着特朗普政府对中国贸易政策的不满，美中之间的贸易紧张局势加剧。美国指责中国不公平贸易行为，包括强制技术转让和知识产权盗窃。作为回应，美国对中国进口商品征收高额关税，中国则对美国进口商品进行报复性关税。这引发了一场持续的贸易战，对全球市场造成不确定性。在此背景下，2019年底至2020年初，双方签署了第一阶段贸易协议。该协议的核心内容包括中国承诺在2年内增加购买美国产品和服务2000亿美元，涵盖农产品、制造品、能源产品和服务等。此外，中国还承诺加强知识产权保护，放松金融服务业的市场准入，以及停止强迫技术转让。美国则承诺降低部分中国产品的关税。第一阶段贸易协议对全球市场产生了积极影响，暂时缓解了美中之间的贸易紧张。然而，许多问题仍未得到解决，例如国有企业补贴、数字贸易和网络安全等，因此预计未来还需要进一步的磋商和协议。根据数据，美中贸易对两国经济都有重大影响。美国是中国最大的出口市场，而中国则是美国最大的进口来源地之一。2020年，美国从中国进口约4340亿美元的商品，而出口至中国的商品和服务约1240亿美元。这种贸易不平衡是美中贸易争端的重要背景之一。总之，美中贸易协议对全球经济和两国的政治、经济关系具有深远影响。随着全球化的深化和地缘政治的变迁，未来美中贸易协议的进展和变化， 仍将是国际关注的焦点。
享先驱报，成为有洞察力的人。华尔街电视特别节目，纽约时间每天早上8点，李奇博士主持，和平评点。
谢谢大家收看六度探索。这是一个由科学家、经济学家、媒体人、工程技术人员合作建立的新型媒体，网友与六度 AI 参与合作完成各种内容，这些内容不能作为任何决策或法律的意见。这是一个新型的试验性媒体方式，我们希望得到大家的支持，修正错误。网友可以参与讨论，也可以向万能的六博士提出你能想出的任何问题。六度世界网址是六度 World。请介绍给你的亲朋好友。
The new view, breaking the news, breaking the day, truth and insight our way. Every story, every play, live and clear we convey. Shadows lift, facts unfold, moments chasing, stories told, heroes, villains, tales of old. Our truth is gold. Depths revealed, voices bright, news in focus, black and white. Every angle sheds some light. Morning, evening, through the night. Breaking the news, breaking the day. Truth and insight our way. Every story, every play. And clear we convey. Truth and insight our way. Truth and insight our way. Breaking the news, breaking the day. Truth and insight our way. Every story, every play, living clear we convey. Every story, every play, and clear we convey. Truth and insight our way. Truth and insight our way. Depths revealed, voices bright, news in focus, black and white. Every angle sheds some light. Morning, evening, through the night. Breaking the news, breaking the day. Truth and insight our way. Every story, every play. Live and clear we convey. Breaking the news, breaking the day. Truth and insight our way. Every story, every play. And clear we convey. Truth and insight our way. Truth and insight our way. Truth and insight our way.
大家好，欢迎来到我们的六度解析节目。在今天的节目中，我们将聚焦于吉米·卡特总统如何在一个截然不同的华盛顿背景下，推动美中关系的升温。 自1979年将外交承认从台北转移至北京以来，这一重大举措虽然使中国远离了苏联的影响，但也成为了当前美中紧张局势的一个根源。当时，卡特政府面对的是苏联入侵阿富汗带来的共同威胁，与中国建立友好关系被视为一种战略选择。然而，今天的中美关系却因海上安全、台湾问题以及与莫斯科的关系而变得更加复杂。随着习近平和拜登的领导，两国间的技术冷战愈演愈烈，让人不禁思考卡特当年的决策是否过于冒险。随着台湾问题的持续升温，卡特的外交遗产如今正面临新的挑战。请大家继续收看详细内容。1980年1月的一个冬天早晨，国防部长哈罗德·布朗在北京会见了中国高级军事官员耿彪。卡特政府经过秘密谈判，将外交承认从台北转为北京，已经过了1年。苏联刚入侵阿富汗，华盛顿和北京对莫斯科扩张主义的担忧与日俱增。曾帮助美国发展核武库的天才科学家布朗在会见中指出，在限制苏联的问题上，北京和华盛顿的观点非常相似。他开玩笑说，他们各自的员工肯定联手写下了他们的谈话要点，这让我们的钱花得不值。当时，中国官员的幕僚包括一位名叫习近平的年轻秘书。同年，中国允许美国情报机构在其偏远西部地区设立监听站，以监视俄罗斯。此举部分是由参议员乔·拜登发起的。在耿爽访问华盛顿以推动先进军事技术之前，中国国防官员参观了美国军事基地和工业制造商。当吉米·卡特总统邀请布朗和耿在白宫观看星际大战电影《帝国大反击》时，布朗开玩笑地向中国官员保证，雷射武器和星际飞船尚未成为美国军火库的一部分。习近平和拜登现在领导中国和美国，但曾经的友好关系在海上安全、台湾地位以及北京与莫斯科迅速发展的伙伴关系等问题上受到了考验。尽管最近试图缓和关系，但世界上两个最强大的国家仍然处于围绕人工智慧和开发人工智慧所需技术的技术冷战的边缘。根据华盛顿邮报的报道，卡特时代在很多方面绝对是一个不同的时代。这几乎与现在发生的情况完全相反。华盛顿美利坚大学全球研究教授约瑟夫·托里吉安 （Joseph Torrigian） 说，在冷战的大部分时间里，美中关系中最强大的平衡之一就是共同反对苏联。卡特总统对自己的这一举动感到自豪。他在2018年接受《华盛顿邮报》采访时表示，正常化关系是他最自豪的外交政策成就之一。他的努力得到了北京的认可。中国驻美特使也曾出席2019年的颁奖典礼，表彰卡特在美中关系中的政治家精神。卡特被中国网友称为美国最后的好老人，足以看出他在中国的影响力和受欢迎程度。1979年12月，苏联入侵阿富汗，这一事件进一步加速了美中之间的合作。当时的美国与中国共同对抗苏联的扩张主义，这使得两国在军事和情报领域的合作更加紧密。根据学者约瑟夫·托里吉安的观察，这种合作是在冷战时期两国之间最强大的平衡之一。然而，这一转变并非一帆风顺。卡特的外交政策面临着国内外的巨大反对声音。冷战外交史学家布莱恩 ·P. 希尔顿指出，卡特在推动美中关系正常化时，必须克服来自美国内部的阻力和外部盟友的疑虑。然而，卡特坚持认为，这一举措将有助于改变世界对莫斯科的力量平衡，并引发一场导致苏联解体的长期变革。卡特的外交决策深刻影响了全球政治格局。他的政策使得中美之间的贸易、投资和科技交流蓬勃发展，这不仅帮助了数亿中国人摆脱贫困，也对全球经济产生了深远影响。卡特在《华盛顿邮报》上撰文称，这一政策带来了东亚和亚太地区的相对稳定，结束了持续30年的敌对状态。然而，承认北京的一个中国原则也带来了与台湾关系的挑战。卡特于1979年签署了《台湾关系法》，这是一份协议，允许美国向台北出售武器，以便台湾自卫。这一协议的语言模糊，不包含明确的安全保证，但保持了美台之间的非官方关系。 多年后，当时的台湾总统李登辉赞誉卡特在卸任后对人权的贡献，并指出卡特对台湾的访问显示了他对台湾人民的支持。卡特本人表示，他未曾想到自己有一天会访问台湾。相反，他在1979年成为首位在白宫接待中国最高领导人的美国总统。随着时间的推移，台湾问题成为美中关系中一个持续的棘手问题。尽管中国从未控制过台湾，但北京一直认为台湾是其领土的一部分，并不排除使用武力的可能性。近年来，中国对台湾的威胁加剧，导致外界对于区域安全的担忧增加。在当前的地缘政治环境下，习近平和乔拜登分别成为中国和美国的领导人，两国的关系再度面临挑战。美国政策制定者开始反思卡特时期的外交政策是否过于宽容，尤其是在面对一个更加强势的中国时。拜登已多次表示，如果中国攻击台湾，美军将介入保卫台湾，而这一立场也显示美国对台湾安全的重视程度。然而，尽管存在这些挑战，吉米·卡特对于美中关系的贡献仍然不可忽视。在他的一生中，他不仅见证了20世纪后半叶的历史巨变，也通过自己的努力改变了世界的面貌。卡特的去世在全球范围内引起了哀悼和赞扬，他的外交遗产将继续影响未来的中美关系。
思想先驱报，成为有洞察力的人。华尔街电视特别节目，纽约时间每天早上8点，李奇博士主持，和平评点。
谢谢大家收看六度探索。这是一个由科学家、经济学家、媒体人、工程技术人员合作建立的新型媒体，网友与六度 AI 参与合作完成各种内容，这些内容不能作为任何决策或法律的意见。这是一个新型的试验性媒体方式，我们希望得到大家的支持，修正错误。网友可以参与讨论，也可以向万能的六博士提出你能想出的任何问题。六度世界网址是六度 World， 请介绍给你的亲朋好友。
Scrolling through the headlines, another crazy day. 6 degrees of stories, connecting in their way. From the weather to the sports, and everything we see. People making news on TV screens for free. 6-degree world, where the news comes in a whirl. Every story ties together like a ribbon in a twirl. Sit back and watch it all. Big and small they call. From city lights to countryside, we're connected after all. A laugh, a cry, a sigh. News is flying high. From city lights to countryside, we're connected after all. A laugh, a cry, a sigh. News is flying high. No matter where you are, you'll never fall from the buzz. 6-degree world, where the news comes in a whirl. Every story ties together like a ribbon in a twirl.
Welcome to NVIDIA. In fact, you're inside NVIDIA's digital twin. And we're going to take you to NVIDIA. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to NVIDIA. You're inside our digital twin. Everything here is generated by AI. It has been an extraordinary journey, extraordinary year, and it started in 1993.
Ready, go!
with NV1, we wanted to build computers that can do things that normal computers couldn't. And NV1 made it possible to have a game console in your PC. Our programming architecture was called UDA, missing the letter C until a little while later, but UDA, Unified Device Architecture. And the first developer for UDA and the first application that ever worked on UDA was Sega's Virtual Fighter. 6 years later, we invented, in 1999, the programmable GPU. And it started 20 plus years of incredible advance in this incredible processor called the GPU. It made modern computer graphics possible. And now, 30 years later, Sega's Virtual Fighter is completely cinematic. This is the new Virtual Fighter project that's coming. I just can't wait. Absolutely incredible. 6 years after that, 6 years after 1999, we invented CUDA so that we could explain or express the programmability of our GPUs to a rich set of algorithms that could benefit from it. CUDA initially was difficult to explain, and it took years, in fact. It took approximately 6 years. Somehow, 6 years later or so, 2012, Alex Karshevsky, Ilya Sutskever, and Jeff Hinton discovered CUDA, used it to process AlexNet, and the rest of it is history. AI has been advancing at an incredible pace since. Started with perception AI. We now can understand images and words and sounds. To generative AI, we can generate images and text and sounds. And now, agentic AI. AIs that can perceive, reason, plan, and act. And then the next phase, some of which we'll talk about tonight, physical AI, 2012. Now, magically, 2018, something happened that was pretty incredible. Google's Transformer was released as BERT, and the world of AI really took off. Transformers, as you know, completely changed the landscape for artificial intelligence. In fact, it completely changed the landscape for computing altogether. We recognized properly that AI was not just a new application with a new business opportunity, but AI, more importantly, machine learning enabled by transformers, was going to fundamentally change how computing works. And today, computing is revolutionized in every single layer, from hand coding, instructions that run on CPUs to create software tools that humans use. We now have machine learning that creates and optimizes neural networks that processes on GPUs and creates artificial intelligence. Every single layer of the technology stack has been completely changed. An incredible transformation in just 12 years. Well, we can now understand information of just about any modality. Surely you've seen text and images and sounds and things like that. But not only can we understand those, we can understand amino acids, we can understand physics. We understand them, we can translate them, and generate them. The applications are just completely endless. In fact, almost any AI application that you see out there, what modality is the input that it learned from? What modality of information did it translate to? And what modality of information is it generating? If you ask these three fundamental questions, just about every single application could be inferred. And so when you see application after applications that are AI-driven, AI-native, at the core of it, this fundamental concept is there. Machine learning has changed how every application is going to be built, how computing will be done, and the possibilities beyond. Well, GPUs GeForce, in a lot of ways, all of this with AI is the house that GeForce built. GeForce enabled AI to reach the masses. And now, AI is coming home to GeForce. There are so many things that you can't do without AI. Let me show you some of it now. That was real-time computer graphics. No computer graphics researcher, no computer scientist would have told you that it is possible for us to ray trace every single pixel at this point. Ray tracing is a simulation of light. The amount of geometry that you saw was absolutely insane. It would have been impossible without artificial intelligence. There are two fundamental things that we did. We used, of course, programmable shading and ray traced acceleration to produce incredibly beautiful pixels. But then we have artificial intelligence be conditioned, be controlled by that pixel to generate a whole bunch of other pixels. Not only is it able to generate other pixels spatially, because it's aware of what the colors should be, it has been trained on a supercomputer back in NVIDIA, and so the neural network that's running on the GPU can infer and predict the pixels that we did not render. Not only can we do that, it's called DLSS, the latest generation of DLSS also generates beyond frames. It can predict the future, generating 3 additional frames for every frame that we calculate. What you saw, if we just said 4 frames of what you saw, because we're going to render 1 frame and generate 3, if I said 4 frames at full HD, 4K, that's 33 million pixels or so. Out of that 33 million pixels, we computed only 2. It is an absolute miracle that we can computationally using programmable shaders and our ray tracing engine, to compute 2 million pixels and have AI predict all of the other 33. And as a result, we're able to render at incredibly high performance because AI does a lot less computation. It takes, of course, an enormous amount of training to produce that, but once you train it, the generation is extremely efficient. So this is one of the incredible capabilities of artificial intelligence, and that's why there's so many amazing things that are happening. We used GeForce to enable artificial intelligence, and now artificial intelligence is revolutionizing GeForce. Everyone, today we're announcing our next generation, the RTX Blackwell family. Let's take a look. Here it is. Our brand new GeForce RTX 50 series Blackwell architecture. The GPU is just a beast. 92 billion transistors, 4,000 TOPS, 4 petaflops of AI, 3 times higher than the last generation Ada. And we need all of it to generate those pixels that I showed you. 380 ray tracing teraflops so that we could, for the pixels that we have to compute the most beautiful image you possibly can. And of course, 125 shader teraflops. There's actually a concurrent shader teraflops as well as an integer unit of equal performance. So 2 dual shaders. One is for floating point, one is for integer. G7 memory from Micron, 1.8 terabytes per second, twice the performance of our last generation. And we now have the ability to intermix AI workloads with computer graphics workloads. And one of the amazing things about this generation is the programmable shader is also able to now process neural networks. So the shader is able to carry these neural networks, and as a result, we invented neural texture compression and neural material shading. As a result of that, you get these amazingly beautiful images that are only possible because we use AIs to learn the texture, learn the compression algorithm, and as a result, get extraordinary results. Okay, so this is the brand new RTX Blackwell 5090. Now, even the mechanical design is a miracle. Look at this, it's got 2 fans. This whole graphics card is just one giant fan. You know, so the question is, where's the graphics card? It's literally this big. The voltage regulator design is state-of-the-art, incredible design. The engineering team did a great job. So here it is. Thank you. Okay, so those are the speeds and feeds, so how does it compare? Well, this is RTX 4090. I know many of you have one. I know it. Look, it's $1,599. It is one of the best investments you could possibly make. For $1,599, you bring it home to your $10,000 PC entertainment command center. Isn't that right? Don't tell me that's not true. Don't be ashamed. It's liquid cooled, fancy lights all over it. You lock it when you leave. It's the modern home theater. It makes perfect sense. And now for $1,599, you get to upgrade that and turbocharge the living daylights out of it. Well, now with the Blackwell family, RTX 5070, 4090 performance at $549. Impossible without artificial intelligence. Impossible without the 4 teraops of AI tensor cores. Impossible without the G7 memories. Okay, so 5070, 4090 performance, $549, and here's the whole family. Starting from 5070 all the way up to 5090. 5090, twice the performance of a 4090. Starting, of course, we're producing at very large scale availability starting January. Well, it is incredible, but we managed to put these in gigantic performance GPUs into a laptop. This is a 5070 laptop. For $1,299, this 5070 laptop has a 4090 performance. I think there's one here somewhere. Let me show you this. This is look at this thing. Here. There's only so many pockets. Ladies and gentlemen, Janine Paul. So can you imagine You got this incredible graphics card here, Blackwell. We're going to shrink it and put it in there. Does that make any sense? Well, you can't do that without artificial intelligence. And the reason for that is because we're generating most of the pixels using our tensor cores. So we ray trace only the pixels we need, and we generate, using artificial intelligence, all of the other pixels we have. As a result, the energy efficiency is just off the charts. The future of computer graphics is neural rendering, the fusion of artificial intelligence and computer graphics. And what's really amazing is, oh, here we go. Thank you. This is a surprisingly kinetic keynote. And what's really amazing is the family of GPUs we're going to put in here. And so the 5090 will fit into a laptop, a thin laptop. That last laptop was 14.9 millimeters. You got a 5080, 5070 Ti, and 5070. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, the RTX Blackwell family. Well, GeForce brought AI to the world, democratized AI. Now AI has come back and revolutionized GeForce. Let's talk about artificial intelligence. Let's go to somewhere else at NVIDIA. This is literally our office. This is literally NVIDIA's headquarters. Okay, so let's talk about AI. The industry is chasing and racing to scale artificial intelligence. And the scaling law is a powerful model. It's an empirical law that has been observed and demonstrated by researchers and industry over several generations. And the scaling law says that the more data you have, the training data that you have, the larger model that you have, and the more compute that you apply to it, therefore, the more effective or the more capable your model will become. And so the scaling law continues. What's really amazing is that now we're moving towards, of course, and the internet is producing about twice the amount of data every single year as it did last year. I think in the next couple of years, humanity will produce more data than all of humanity has ever produced since the beginning. And so we're still producing a gigantic amount of data, and it's becoming multimodal. Video and images and sound, all of that data could be used to train the fundamental knowledge, the foundational knowledge of an AI. But there are, in fact, two other scaling laws that has now emerged. And it's somewhat intuitive. The second scaling law is post-training scaling law. Post-training scaling law uses techniques like reinforcement learning, human feedback. Basically, the AI produces and generates answers based on a human query. The human then, of course, gives a feedback. It's much more complicated than that, but that reinforcement learning system with a fair number of very high-quality prompts causes the AI to refine its skills. It could fine-tune its skills for particular domains. It could be better at solving math problems, better at reasoning, so on and so forth. And so it's essentially like having a mentor or having a coach give you feedback after you're done going to school. And so you get tests, you get feedback, you improve yourself. We also have reinforcement learning AI feedback, and we have synthetic data generation. These techniques are rather akin to, if you will, self-practice. You know the answer to a particular problem, and you continue to try it until you get it right. And so an AI could be presented with a very complicated and a difficult problem that is verifiable functionally, and it has an answer that we understand, maybe proving a theorem, maybe solving a geometry problem. And so these problems would cause the AI to produce answers, and using reinforcement learning, it would learn how to improve itself. That's called post-training. Post-training requires an enormous amount of computation, but the end result produces incredible models. We now have a third scaling law. And this third scaling law has to do with what's called test time scaling. Test time scaling is basically when you're being used. When you're using the AI has the ability to now apply a different resource allocation. Instead of improving its parameters, now it's focused on deciding how much computation to use to produce the answers it wants to produce. Reasoning is a way of thinking about this. Long thinking is a way to think about this. Instead of a direct inference or one-shot answer, you might reason about it. You might break down the problem into multiple steps. You might generate multiple ideas and evaluate, your AI system would evaluate which one of the ideas that you generated was the best one. Maybe it solves the problem step by step, so on and so forth. And so now test time scaling has proven to be incredibly effective. You're watching this sequence of technology and all of these scaling laws emerge as we see incredible achievements from ChatGPT to O1 to O3, and now Gemini Pro. All of these systems are going through this journey step by step of pre-training to post-training to test time scaling. Well, the amount of computation that we need, of course, is incredible. And we would like, in fact, that society has the ability to scale the amount of computation to produce more and more novel and better intelligence. Intelligence, of course, is the most valuable asset that we have, and it can be applied to solve a lot of very challenging problems. And so, scaling law. It's driving enormous demand for NVIDIA computing. It's driving an enormous demand for this incredible chip we call Blackwell. Let's take a look at Blackwell. Well, Blackwell is in full production. It is incredible what it looks like. So first of all, there's some, every single cloud service provider now have systems up and running. We have systems here from about 15 computer makers. It's being made about 200 different SKUs, 200 different configurations. They're liquid-cooled, air-cooled, x86, NVIDIA Grace CPU versions, NVLink 36 by 2, NVLink 72 by 1, whole bunch of different types of systems so that we can accommodate just about every single data center in the world. Well, these systems are being currently manufactured in some 45 factories. It tells you how pervasive artificial intelligence is and how much the industry is jumping onto artificial intelligence in this new computing model. Well, the reason why we're driving it so hard is because we need a lot more computation. And it's very clear that Janine? It's hard to tell. You don't ever want to reach your hands into a dark place. Hang on a second. Is this a good idea? All right. Wait for it. Wait for it. I thought I was worthy. Apparently, Yonir didn't think I was worthy. All right. This is my show and tell. This is a show and tell. So, this NVLink system, this right here, this NVLink system, this is GB200 NVLink 72. It is 1.5 tons, 600,000 parts, approximately equal to 20 cars, 120 kilowatts. It has a spine behind it that connects all of these GPU together, 2 miles of copper cable, 5,000 cables. This is being manufactured in 45 factories around the world. We build them we liquid cool them, we test them, we disassemble them, ship them in parts to the data centers because it's 1.5 tons. We reassemble it outside the data centers and install them. The manufacturing is insane. But the goal of all of this is because the scaling laws are driving computing so hard that this level of computation, Blackwell over our last generation, improves the performance per watt by a factor of 4. Performance per watt by a factor of 4, performance per dollar by a factor of 3. That basically says that in one generation, we reduce the cost of training these models by a factor of 3. Or if you want to increase the size of your model by a factor of 3, it's about the same cost. But the important thing is this. These are generating tokens that are being used by all of us when we use ChatGPT or when we use Gemini, use our phones in the future. Just about all of these applications are going to be consuming these AI tokens. And these AI tokens are being generated by these systems. And every single data center is limited by power. And so if the perf per watt of Blackwell is 4 times our last generation, then the revenue that could be generated, the amount of business that can be generated in the data center is increased by a factor of 4. And so these AI factory systems really are factories today. Now the goal of all of this is so that we can create one giant chip. The amount of computation we need is really quite incredible. And this is basically one giant chip. If we would have had to build a chip, here we go. Sorry, guys. You see that? That's cool. Look at that, disco lights in here. All right. If we had to build this as one chip, obviously this would be the size of the wafer, but this doesn't include the impact of yield. It would have to be probably 3 or 4 times this size. But what we basically have here is 72 Blackwell GPUs or 144 dies. This one chip here is 1.4 exaflops. The world's largest supercomputer, fastest supercomputer, only recently, this entire room supercomputer only recently achieved an exaflop plus. This is 1.4 exaflops of AI floating point performance. It has 14 terabytes of memory, but here's the amazing thing. The memory bandwidth is 1.2 petabytes per second. That's basically the entire internet traffic that's happening right now. The entire world's internet traffic is being processed across these chips, okay? And we have 130 trillion transistors in total, 2,592 CPU cores, whole bunch of networking. And so these, I wish I could do this. I don't think I will. So these are the Blackwells. These are our ConnectX networking chips. These are the NVLink, and we're trying to pretend about the NVLink spine, but that's not possible, okay? And these are all of the HBM memories, 14 terabytes of HBM memory. This is what we're trying to do, and this is the miracle of the Blackwell system. The Blackwell dies right here. It is the largest single chip the world's ever made. But yet, the miracle is really, in addition to that, this is the Grace Blackwell system. Well, the goal of all of this, of course, is so that we can, thank you, thanks. Boy, is there a chair I could sit down for a second? Can I have a Michelob Ultra? How is it possible that we're in the Michelob Ultra Stadium? It's like coming to NVIDIA and we don't have a GPU for you. So we need an enormous amount of computation because we want to train larger and larger models, and these inferences used to be one inference, but in the future, the AI is going to be talking to itself. It's going to be thinking. It's going to be internally reflecting, processing. So today, when the tokens are being generated at you, so long as it's coming out at 20 or 30 tokens per second. It's basically as fast as anybody can read. However, in the future, and right now with GPT-01, with the new Gemini Pro and the new the 01, 03 models, they're talking to themselves, reflecting, they're thinking. And so, as you can imagine, the rate at which the tokens could be ingested is incredibly high. And so we need the token rates, the token generation rates, to go way up. And we also have to drive the cost way down simultaneously so that the quality of service can be extraordinary, the cost to customers can continue to be low, and AI will continue to scale. And so that's the fundamental purpose, the reason why we created NVLink. Well, one of the most important things that's happening in the world of enterprise is agentic AI. Agentic AI basically is a perfect example of test time scaling. AI is a system of models. Some of it is understanding, interacting with the customer, interacting with the user. Some of it is maybe retrieving information from storage, a semantic AI system like a RAG. Maybe it's going on to the internet. Maybe it's studying a PDF file. And so it might be using tools. It might be using a calculator. And it might be using a generative AI to generate charts and such. And it's taking the problem you gave it, breaking it down step by step, and it's iterating through all these different models. Well, in order to respond to a customer in the future, in order for AI to respond, it used to be ask a question, answer starts spewing out. In the future, you ask a question, a whole bunch of models are going to be working in the background. And so test time scaling, the amount of computation used for inferencing, is going to go through the roof. It's going to go through the roof because we want better and better answers. Well, to help the industry build agentic AI, our go-to-market is not direct to enterprise customers. Our go-to-market is we work with software developers in the IT ecosystem to integrate our technology to make possible new capabilities, just like we did with CUDA libraries. We now want to do that with AI libraries. And just as the computing model of the past has APIs that are doing computer graphics or doing linear algebra or doing fluid dynamics, in the future, on top of those acceleration libraries, CUDA acceleration libraries, we'll have AI libraries. We've created 3 things for helping the ecosystem build agentic AI. NVIDIA NIMs, which are essentially AI microservices all packaged up. It takes all of this really complicated CUDA software, CUDA DNN, Cutlass, or TensorRT-LM, or Triton, or all of these different really complicated software, and the model itself, we package it up, we optimize it, we put it into a container, and you could take it wherever you like. And so we have models for vision, for understanding languages, for speech, for animation, for digital biology, and we have some new exciting models coming for physical AI. And these AI models run in every single cloud, because NVIDIA's GPUs are now available in every single cloud. It's available in every single OEM. So you could literally take these models, integrate it into your software packages, create AI agents that run on Cadence, or there might be ServiceNow agents, or they might be SAP agents, and they could deploy it to their customers and run it wherever the customers want to run the software. The next layer is what we call NVIDIA NeMo. NeMo is essentially a digital employee onboarding and training evaluation system. In the future, these AI agents are essentially digital workforce that are working alongside your employees, doing things for you on your behalf. And so the way that you would bring these specialized agents these special agents into your company is to onboard them, just like you onboard an employee. And so we have different libraries that helps these AI agents be trained for the type of language in your company. Maybe the vocabulary is unique to your company, the business process is different, the way you work is different. So you would give them examples of what the work product should look like, and they would try to generate it, and you would give it feedback, and then you would evaluate them, so on and so forth. And so and you would guardrail them. You say, these are the things that you're not allowed to do. These are the things you're not allowed to say. And we even give them access to certain information. Okay, so that entire pipeline, digital employee pipeline, is called NeMo. In a lot of ways, the IT department of every company is going to be the HR department of AI agents in the future. Today, they manage and maintain a bunch of software from the IT industry. In the future, they'll maintain, nurture, onboard, and improve a whole bunch of digital agents and provision them to the companies to use. Okay, and so your IT department is going to become kind of like AI agent HR. And on top of that, we provide a whole bunch of blueprints that our ecosystem could take advantage of. All of this is completely open source, and so you could take it and modify the blueprints. We have blueprints for all kinds of different types of agents. Well, today we're also announcing that we're doing something that's really cool and I think really clever. We're announcing a whole family of models that are based off of Llama, the NVIDIA Llama Nemotron language foundation models. Llama 3.1 is a complete phenomenon. The download of Llama 3.1 from Meta, 650,000 times, something like that. It has been derived and turned into other models, about 60,000 other different models. It is singularly the reason why just about every single enterprise and every single industry has been activated to start working on AI. Well, the thing that we did was we realized that the Llama models really could be better fine-tuned for enterprise use. And so we fine-tune them using our expertise and our capabilities, and we turn them into the Llama Nemotron suite of open models. There are small ones that interact in very, very fast response time, extremely small. They're what we call super Llama Nemotron supers. They're basically your mainstream versions of your models. Or your ultra model. The ultra model could be used to be a teacher model for a whole bunch of other models. It could be a reward model, evaluator, a judge for other models to create answers and decide whether it's a good answer or not, basically give feedback to other models. It could be distilled in a lot of different ways. Basically, a teacher model, a knowledge distillation model. Very large, very capable. And so all of this is now available online. Well, these models are incredible. It's number one in leaderboards for chat, leaderboard for instruction, leaderboard for retrieval. So the different types of functionalities necessary that are used in AI agents around the world, these are going to be incredible models for you. We're also working with the ecosystem. All of our NVIDIA AI technologies are integrated into the IT industry. We have great partners and really great work being done at ServiceNow, at SAP, at Siemens for industrial AI. Cadence is doing great work. Synopsys is doing great work. I'm really proud of the work that we do with Perplexity. As you know, they revolutionized search. Yeah, really fantastic stuff. Codium, every software engineer in the world. This is going to be the next giant AI application, next giant AI service, period, is software coding. 30 million software engineers around the world. Everybody is going to have a software assistant helping them code. If not, obviously you're going to be way less productive and create lesser good code. And so this is 30 million. There's 1 billion knowledge workers in the world. It is very, very clear AI agents is probably the next robotics industry and likely to be a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity. Well, let me show you some of the blueprints that we've created and some of the work that we've done with our partners with these AI agents.
AI agents are the new digital workforce, working for and with us. AI agents are a system of models that reason about a mission, break it down into tasks, and retrieve data or use tools to generate a quality response. NVIDIA's agentic AI building blocks, NIM pre-trained models, and NEMO framework let organizations easily develop AI agents and deploy them anywhere. We will onboard and train our agentic workforces on our company's methods, like we do for employees. AI agents are domain-specific task experts. Let me show you 4 examples. For the billions of knowledge workers and students, AI research assistant agents ingest complex documents like lectures, journals, financial results, and generate interactive podcasts for easy learning.
By combining a UNet regression model with a diffusion model, CoreDiff can downscale global weather forecasts down from 25 kilometers to 2 kilometers.
Developers, like at NVIDIA, manage software security AI agents that continuously scan software for vulnerabilities, alerting developers to what action is needed. Virtual Lab AI agents help researchers design and screen billions of compounds to find promising drug candidates faster than ever. And Video Analytics AI agents, built on an NVIDIA Metropolis blueprint, including NVIDIA Cosmos Nematron vision language models, Llama Nematron LLMs, and Nemo Retriever. Metropolis agents analyze content from the billions of cameras generating 100,000 petabytes of video per day. They enable interactive search, summarization, and automated reporting, and help monitor traffic flows, flagging congestion or danger. In industrial facilities, they monitor processes and generate recommendations or improvement. Metropolis agents centralize data from hundreds of cameras and can reroute workers or robots when incidents occur. The age of agentic AI is here, for every organization.
Okay. That was the first pitch at a baseball game. That was not generated. I just felt that none of you were impressed. Okay, so AI was created in the cloud and for the cloud. AI is created in the cloud and for the cloud. And for enjoying AI on phones, of course, it's perfect. Very, very soon, we're going to have a continuous AI that's going to be with you. And when you use those Meta glasses, you could, of course, point at something, look at something, and ask it, whatever information you want. And so AI is perfect in the cloud. It was created in the cloud, it's perfect in the cloud. However, we would love to be able to take that AI everywhere. I've mentioned already that you could take NVIDIA AI to any cloud, but you could also put it inside your company. But the thing that we want to do more than anything is put it on our PC as well. And so, as you know, Windows 95 revolutionized the computer industry. It made possible this new suite of multimedia services, and it changed the way that applications was created forever. Windows 95, this model of computing, of course, is not perfect for AI. And so the thing that we would like to do is we would like to have, in the future, your AI basically become your AI assistant. And instead of just the 3D APIs and the sound APIs and the video APIs, you would have generative APIs for 3D, and generative APIs for language, and generative AI for sound, and so on and so forth. And we need a system that makes that possible while leveraging the massive investment that's in the cloud. There's no way that the world can create yet another way of programming AI models. It's just not going to happen. And so if we could figure out a way to make Windows PC a world-class AI PC, it would be completely awesome. And it turns out the answer is Windows. It's Windows WSL2. Windows WSL2. Windows WSL2 basically is two operating systems within one. It works perfectly. It's developed for developers, and it's developed so that you can have access to bare metal. WSL2 has been optimized for cloud-native applications. It is optimized for, and very importantly, it's been optimized for CUDA. And so WSL2 supports CUDA perfectly out of the box. As a result, everything that I showed you with NVIDIA NIMS, NVIDIA NeMo, the blueprints that we develop that are going to be up in ai.nvidia.com, so long as the computer fits it, so long as you can fit that model, and we're going to have many models that fit, whether it's vision models or language models or speech models or these animation digital human models, all kinds of different types of models are going to be perfect for your PC, and you download it and it should just run. And so our focus is to turn Windows WSL2, Windows PC, into a target, first-class platform that we will support and maintain for as long as we shall live. And so this is an incredible thing for engineers and developers everywhere. Let me show you something that we can do with that. This is one of the examples of a blueprint we just made for you.
Generative AI synthesizes amazing images from simple text prompts. Yet image composition can be challenging to control using only words. With NVIDIA NIM microservices, creators can use simple 3D objects to guide AI image generation. Let's see how a concept artist can use this technology to develop the look of a scene. They start by laying out 3D assets, created by hand or generated with AI. Then use an image generation NIM, such as Flux, to create a visual that adheres to the 3D scene. Add or move objects to refine the composition. Change camera angles to frame the perfect shot. Or reimagine the whole scene with a new prompt. Assisted by generative AI and NVIDIA NIM, an artist can quickly realize their vision.
NVIDIA AI for your PCs. Hundreds of millions of PCs in the world with Windows, and so we could get them ready for AI. OEMs, all the PC OEMs we work with, just basically all of the world's leading PC OEMs, are going to get their PCs ready for this stack. And so AI PCs are coming to a home near you. Linux is good. Okay, let's talk about physical AI. Speaking of Linux, let's talk about physical AI. So, physical AI. Imagine, whereas your large language model, you give it your context, your prompt on the left, and it generates tokens one at a time to produce the output. That's basically how it works. The amazing thing is this model in the middle is quite large, has billions of parameters. The context length is incredibly large because you might decide to load in a PDF. In my case, I might load in several PDFs before I ask it a question. Those PDFs are turned into tokens. The basic attention characteristic of a transformer has every single token find its relationship and relevance against every other token. So you could have hundreds of thousands of tokens, and the computational load increases quadratically. And it does this, all of the parameters, all of the input sequence, process it through every single layer of the transformer, and it produces one token. That's the reason why we needed Blackwell. And then the next token is produced when the current token is done. It puts the current token into the input sequence and takes that whole thing and generates the next token. It does it one at a time. This is the transformer model. It's the reason why it is so incredibly effective, computationally demanding. What if instead of PDFs, it's your surrounding? And what if instead of the prompt, a question, it's a request? Go over there and pick up that box and bring it back. And instead of what is produced in tokens as text, it produces action tokens. Well, that I just described is a very sensible thing for the future of robotics. And the technology is right around the corner. But what we need to do is we need to create the effectively the world model of, as opposed to GPT, which is a language model. And this world model has to understand the language of the world. It has to understand physical dynamics, things like gravity and friction and inertia. It has to understand geometric and spatial relationships. It has to understand cause and effect. If you drop something, it falls to the ground. If you poke at it, it tips over. It has to understand object permanence. If you roll a ball over the kitchen counter, when it goes off the other side, the ball didn't leave into another quantum universe. That's still there. And so all of these types of understanding is intuitive understanding that we know that most models today have a very hard time with. And so we would like to create we need a world foundation model. Today we're announcing a very big thing. we're announcing NVIDIA Cosmos, a world foundation model that is designed, that was created to understand the physical world. And the only way for you to really understand this is to see it. Let's play it.
The next frontier of AI is physical AI. Model performance is directly related to data availability, but physical world data is costly to capture, curate, and label. NVIDIA Cosmos is a world foundation model development platform to advance physical AI. It includes auto-regressive world foundation models, diffusion-based world foundation models, advanced tokenizers, and an NVIDIA CUDA, an AI-accelerated data pipeline. Cosmos models ingest text, image, or video prompts and generate virtual world states as videos. Cosmos generations prioritize the unique requirements of AV and robotics use cases, like real-world environments, lighting, and object permanence. Developers use NVIDIA Omniverse to build physics-based, geospatially accurate scenarios, then output Omniverse renders into Cosmos, which generates photoreal, physically based synthetic data. Whether diverse objects or environments, conditions like weather or time of day, or edge case scenarios. Developers use Cosmos to generate worlds for reinforcement learning AI feedback to improve policy models, or to test and validate model performance, even across multi-sensor views. Cosmos can generate tokens in real time, bringing the power of foresight and multiverse simulation to AI models, generating every possible future to help the model select the right path. Working with the world's developer ecosystem, NVIDIA is helping advance the next wave of physical AI.
NVIDIA Cosmos. NVIDIA Cosmos. NVIDIA Cosmos, the world's first world foundation model. It is trained on 20 million hours of video. The 20 million hours of video focuses on physical dynamic things. So dynamic nature themes, humans walking, hands moving, manipulating things, things that are fast camera movements. It's really about teaching the AI, not about generating creative content, but teaching the AI to understand the physical world. And with this physical AI, there are many downstream things that we could do as a result. We could do synthetic data generation to train models. We could distill it and turn it into effectively the beginnings of a robotics model. You could have it generate multiple physically based, physically plausible scenarios of the future, basically do a Doctor Strange. You could, because this model understands the physical world, of course, you saw a whole bunch of images generated. This model understanding the physical world, it also could do, of course, captioning. And so it could take videos, caption it incredibly well, and that captioning and the video could be used to train large language models, multimodality large language models. And so you could use this technology to use this foundation model to train robots, as well as large language models. And so this is the NVIDIA Cosmos. The platform has an autoregressive model for real-time applications, has diffusion model for very high-quality image generation. It's incredible tokenizer, basically learning the vocabulary of real world, and a data pipeline so that if you would like to take all of this and then train it on your own data, this data pipeline, because there's so much data involved, we've accelerated everything end-to-end for you. And so this is the world's first data processing pipeline that's CUDA accelerated as well as AI accelerated. All of this is part of the Cosmos platform. And today we're announcing that Cosmos is open licensed. It's open available on GitHub. We hope that this moment, and there's a small, medium, large for very fast models, mainstream models, and also teacher models, basically not knowledge transfer models. Cosmos World Foundation model being open, we really hope will do for the world of robotics and industrial AI what Llama 3 has done for enterprise AI. The magic happens when you connect Cosmos to Omniverse, and the reason fundamentally is this. Omniverse is a physics grounded, not physically grounded, but physics grounded. It's algorithmic physics, principled physics simulation grounded system. It's a simulator. When you connect that to Cosmos, it provides the grounding, the ground truth that can control and to condition the Osmos generation. As a result, what comes out of Osmos is grounded on truth. This is exactly the same idea as connecting a large language model to a RAG, to a retrieval augmented generation system. You want to ground the AI generation on ground truth. And so the combination of the two gives you a physically simulated, a physically grounded multiverse generator. And the application, the use cases are really quite exciting. And of course, for robotics, for industrial applications, it is very, very clear. This Cosmos plus Omniverse plus Cosmos represents the third computer that's necessary for building robotic systems. Every robotics company will ultimately have to build 3 computers. The robotic system could be a factory, the robotic system could be a car, it could be a robot. You need 3 fundamental computers. One computer, of course, to train the AI. We call it the DGX computer to train the AI. Another, of course, when you're done, to deploy the AI. We call that AGX. That's inside the car, in the robot, or in an AMR, or at the in a stadium, or whatever it is. These computers are at the edge and they're autonomous. But to connect the two, you need a digital twin. And this is all the simulations that you were seeing. The digital twin is where the AI that has been trained goes to practice, to be refined, to do its synthetic data generation, reinforcement learning, AI feedback, such and such. And so it's the digital twin of the AI. These 3 computers are going to be working interactively. NVIDIA's strategy for the industrial world, and we've been talking about this for some time, is this 3-computer system. Instead of a three-body problem, we have a 3-computer solution. And so it's the NVIDIA of robotics. So let me give you 3 examples. All right, so the first example is how we apply all of this to industrial digitalization. There are millions of factories, hundreds of thousands of warehouses. That's basically it's the backbone of a $50 trillion manufacturing industry. All of that has to become software defined. All of it has to have automation in the future. And all of it will be infused with robotics. Well, we're partnering with Kion, the world's leading warehouse automation solutions provider, and Accenture, the world's largest professional services provider, and they have a big focus in digital manufacturing. And we're working together to create something that's really special. And I'll show you that in a second. But our go-to-market is essentially the same as all of the other software platforms and all the technology platforms that we have. Through the developers and ecosystem partners, and we have just a growing number of ecosystem partners connecting to Omniverse. And the reason for that is very clear. Everybody wants to digitalize the future of industries. There's so much waste, so much opportunity for automation in that $50 trillion of the world's GDP. So let's take a look at that. This one example that we're doing with Kion and Accenture.
Kion, the supply chain solution company, Accenture, a global leader in professional services, and NVIDIA are bringing physical AI to the $1 trillion warehouse and distribution center market. Managing high-performance warehouse logistics involves navigating a complex web of decisions influenced by constantly shifting variables. These include daily and seasonal demand changes, space constraints, workforce availability, and the integration of diverse robotic and automated systems. And predicting operational KPIs of a physical warehouse is nearly impossible today. To tackle these challenges, KION is adopting MEGA, an NVIDIA Omniverse blueprint for building industrial digital twins to test and optimize robotic fleets. First, KION's warehouse management solution assigns tasks to the industrial AI brains in the digital twin, such as moving a load from a buffer location to a shuttle storage solution. The robot's brains are in a simulation of a physical warehouse, digitalized into Omniverse using OpenUSD connectors to aggregate CAD, video and image to 3D, LiDAR to point cloud, and AI-generated data. The fleet of robots execute tasks by perceiving and reasoning about their Omniverse digital twin environment, planning their next motion and acting. The robot brains can see the resulting state through sensor simulations and decide their next action. The loop continues while MEGA precisely tracks the state of everything in the digital twin. Now, KION can simulate infinite scenarios at scale while measuring operational KPIs, such as throughput, efficiency, and utilization, all before deploying changes to the physical warehouse. Together with NVIDIA, KION and Accenture are reinventing industrial autonomy.
The future that's incredible. Everything is in simulation. In the future, every factory will have a digital twin. And that digital twin operates exactly like the real factory. And in fact, you could use Omniverse with Cosmos to generate a whole bunch of future scenarios, and then an AI decides which one of the scenarios are the most optimal for whatever KPIs, and that becomes the programming constraints, the program, if you will, the AIs that will be deployed into the real factories. The next example, autonomous vehicles. The AV revolution has arrived. After so many years, with Waymo's success and Tesla's success, it is very, very clear autonomous vehicles has finally arrived. Well, our offering to this industry is the three computers: the training systems to train the AIs, the simulation systems, and the synthetic data generation systems, Omniverse and now Cosmos, and also the computer that's inside the car. Each car company might work with us in a different way, use one or two or three of the computers. We're working with just about every major car company around the world: Waymo and Zoox and Tesla, of course, in their data center, BYD, the largest EV company in the world, JLR's got a really cool car coming, Mercedes has a fleet of cars coming with NVIDIA starting this year, going to production. And I'm super, super pleased to announce that today, Toyota and NVIDIA are going to partner together to create their next generation AVs. Just so many cool companies, Lucid and Rivian and Xiaomi and of course Volvo, just so many different companies. Wabi is building self-driving trucks. Aurora, we announced this week also that Aurora is going to use NVIDIA to build self-driving trucks. Autonomous, 100 million cars built each year, a billion vehicles on the road all over the world, 1 trillion miles that are driven around the world each year. That's all going to be either highly autonomous or, fully autonomous coming up. And so this is going to be a very large industry. I predict that this will likely be the first multi-trillion-dollar robotics industry. This business for us, notice in just a few of these cars that are starting to ramp into the world, our business is already $4 billion, and this year probably on a run rate about $5 billion. So really significant business already. This is going to be very large. Well, today we're announcing that our next generation processor for the car, our next generation computer for the car, is called Thor. I have one right here. Hang on a second. Okay, this is Thor. This is Thor. This is a robotics computer This is a robotics computer. It takes sensors and just a madness amount of sensor information, process it, umpteen cameras, high resolution, radars, lidars, they're all coming into this chip. And this chip has to process all that sensor, turn them into tokens, put them into a transformer, and predict the next path. And this AV computer is now in full production. Thor is 20 times the processing capability of our last generation Orin, which is really the standard of autonomous vehicles today. And so this is just really quite incredible. Thor is in full production. This robotics processor, by the way, also goes into a full robot. And so it could be an AMR, it could be a humanoid robot, it could be the brain, it could be the manipulator. This processor basically is a universal robotics computer. The second part of our drive system that I'm incredibly proud of is the dedication to safety. Drive OS, I'm pleased to announce, is now the first software-defined programmable AI computer that has been certified up to ASIL D, which is the highest standard of functional safety for automobiles. The only and the highest. And so I'm really, really proud of this. ASIL D, ISO 26262. It is the work of some 15,000 engineering years. This is just extraordinary work. And as a result of that, CUDA is now a functional, safe computer. And so if you're building a robot, NVIDIA CUDA, yeah. Okay, so now I told you I was going to show you what would we use Omniverse and Cosmos to do in the context of self-driving cars. And today, instead of showing you a whole bunch of videos of cars driving on the road, I'll show you some of that too. But I want to show you how we use the car to reconstruct digital twins automatically using AI and use that capability to train future AI models. Okay, let's play it.
The autonomous vehicle revolution is here. Building autonomous vehicles, like all robots, requires 3 computers: NVIDIA DGX to train AI models, Omniverse to test drive and generate synthetic data, and Drive AGX, a supercomputer in the car. Building safe autonomous vehicles means addressing edge scenarios, but real-world data is limited, so synthetic data is essential for training. The Autonomous Vehicle Data Factory, powered by NVIDIA Omniverse, AI models, and Cosmos, generates synthetic driving scenarios that enhance training data by orders of magnitude. First, OmniMap fuses map and geospatial data to construct drivable 3D environments. Driving scenario variations can be generated from replayed drive logs or AI traffic generators. Next, a neural reconstruction engine uses autonomous vehicle sensor logs to create high-fidelity 4D simulation environments. It replays previous drives in 3D and generates scenario variations to amplify training data. Finally, Edify 3DS automatically searches through existing asset libraries or generates new assets to create sim-ready scenes. The Omniverse scenarios are used to condition Cosmos to generate massive amounts of photorealistic data, reducing the sim-to-real gap. And with text prompts, generate near-infinite variations of the driving scenario. With Cosmos Nemotron Video Search, the massively scaled synthetic dataset, combined with recorded drives, can be curated to train models. NVIDIA's AI Data Factory scales hundreds of drives into billions of effective miles, setting the standard for safe and advanced autonomous driving.
Isn't that incredible? We take thousands of drives and turn them into billions of miles. We are going to have mountains of training data for autonomous vehicles. Of course, we still need actual cars on the road. Of course, we will continuously collect data for as long as we shall live. However, synthetic data generation using this multiverse, physically based, physically grounded capability so that we generate data for training AIs that are physically grounded and accurate or plausible so that we could have an enormous amount of data to train with. The AV industry is here. This is an incredibly exciting time, super excited about the next several years. I think you're going to see, just as computer graphics was revolutionized such incredible pace, you're going to see the pace of AV development increasing tremendously over the next several years. I think the next part is robotics. So humanoid robots, my friends. The ChatGPT moment for general robotics is just around the corner. And in fact, all of the enabling technologies that I've been talking about is going to make it possible for us in the next several years to see very rapid breakthroughs, surprising breakthroughs in general robotics. Now, the reason why general robotics is so important is whereas robots with tracks and wheels require special environments to accommodate them, there are three robots in the world that we can make that require no green fields. Brownfield adaptation is perfect. If we could possibly build these amazing robots, we could deploy them in exactly the world that we've built for ourselves. These three robots are, one, agentic robots, and agentic AI, because they're information workers. So long as they could accommodate the computers that we have in our offices, it's going to be great. Number two, self-driving cars, and the reason for that is we spent 100+ years building roads and cities. And then number three, humanoid robots. If we have the technology to solve these three, this will be the largest technology industry the world's ever seen. And so we think that the robotics era is just around the corner. The critical capability is how to train these robots. In the case of humanoid robots, the imitation information is rather hard to collect. And the reason for that is, in the case of car, you just drive it. We're driving cars all the time. In the case of these humanoid robots, the imitation information, the human demonstration is rather laborious to do. And so we need to come up with a clever way to take hundreds of demonstrations, thousands of human demonstrations, and somehow use artificial intelligence and Omniverse to synthetically generate millions of synthetically generated motions. And from those motions, the AI can learn how to perform a task. Let me show you how that's done.
Developers around the world are building the next wave of physical AI. The NVIDIA Isaac GR00T blueprint for synthetic motion generation is a simulation workflow for imitation learning, enabling developers to generate exponentially large datasets from a small number of human demonstrations. First, GR00T Teleop enables skilled human workers to portal into a digital twin of their robot using the Apple Vision Pro. This means operators can capture data even without a physical robot, and they can operate the robot in a risk-free environment, eliminating the chance of physical damage or wear and tear. To teach a robot a single task, operators capture motion trajectories through a handful of teleoperated demonstrations, then use GR00T Mimic to multiply these trajectories into a much larger dataset. Next, they use GR00T Gen, built on Omniverse and Cosmos for domain randomization and 3D to real upscaling, generating an exponentially larger dataset. The Omniverse and Cosmos multiverse simulation engine provides a massively scaled dataset to train the robot policy. Once the policy is trained, developers can perform software-in-the-loop testing and validation in Isaac Sim before deploying to the real robot. The age of general robotics is arriving, powered by NVIDIA Isaac Groot.
We're going to have mountains of data to train robots with. NVIDIA Isaac Groot. NVIDIA Isaac Groot. This is our platform to provide technology elements to the robotics industry to accelerate the development of general robotics. And, well, I have one more thing that I want to show you. None of this would be possible if not for this incredible project that we started about a decade ago. Inside the company was called Project Digits, Deep Learning GPU Intelligence Training System. Digits. Well, before we launched it, I shrunk it to DGX and to harmonize it with RTX, AGX, OVX, and all of the other X's that we have in the company. And it really revolutionized, DGX1 really revolutionized, where's DGX1? DGX1 revolutionized artificial intelligence. The reason why we built it was because we wanted to make it possible for researchers and startups to have an out-of-the-box AI supercomputer. Imagine the way supercomputers were built in the past. You really have to build your own facility, and you have to go build your own infrastructure and really engineer it into existence. And so we created a supercomputer for AI development for researchers and startups that comes literally one out of the box. I delivered the first one to a startup company in 2016 called OpenAI, and Elon was there, and Ilya Sutskever was there, and many of the NVIDIA engineers were there, and we celebrated the arrival of DGX1, and obviously it revolutionized artificial intelligence and computing. But now artificial intelligence is everywhere. It's not just in researchers and startup labs. You know, we want artificial intelligence, as I mentioned in the beginning of our talk. This is now the new way of doing computing. This is the new way of doing software. Every software engineer, every creative artist, everybody who uses computers today as a tool will need an AI supercomputer. And so I just wish that DGX1 was smaller. And, you know, imagine, ladies and gentlemen, this is NVIDIA's latest AI supercomputer. And it's finally called Project Digits right now. And if you have a good name for it, reach out to us. Here's the amazing thing. This is an AI supercomputer. It runs the entire NVIDIA AI stack. All of NVIDIA's software runs on this. DGX Cloud runs on this. This sits, well, somewhere, and it's wireless or, you know, connected to your computer. It's even a workstation if you like it to be. And you could access it, you could reach it like a cloud supercomputer, and NVIDIA's AI works on it. And it's based on a super secret chip that we've been working on called GB110, the smallest Grace Blackwell that we make. And I have, well, you know what? Let's show everybody inside. Isn't It's just so cute. And this is the chip that's inside. It is in production. This top secret chip we did in collaboration. The CPU, the gray CPU, is built for NVIDIA in collaboration with MediaTek. They're the world's leading SoC company, and they worked with us to build this CPU SoC, and connect it with chip-to-chip NVLink to the Blackwell GPU. And this little thing here is in full production. We're expecting this computer to be available around May timeframe. And so it's coming at you. It's just incredible what we could do. And it's just, I think I was trying to figure out, do I need more hands or more pockets? All right, so imagine this is what it looks like. You know, who doesn't want one of those? And if you use PC, Mac, you know, anything, because you know, it's a cloud platform. It's a cloud computing platform that sits on your desk. You could also use it as a Linux workstation if you like. If you would like to have double digits, this is what it looks like. You know, and you connect it together with ConnectX, and it has nickel, GPU Direct, all of that out of the box. It's like a supercomputer. Our entire supercomputing stack is available. And so, NVIDIA Project Digits. Okay. Well, let me tell you what I told you. I told you that we are in production with 3 new Blackwells. Not only is the Grace Blackwell supercomputers, NVLink 72s, in production all over the world, we now have 3 new Blackwell systems in production. One amazing AI world foundation model, the world's first physical AI foundation model. It's open, available to activate the world's industries of robotics and such. And 3 robots. 3 robots. We're working on agentic AI, humanoid robots, and self-driving cars.
欢迎来到6度解析新闻背后的多维思考，带你洞悉头条背后的世界。在今日华尔街频道的6度解析中，我们将深入探究时事热点，为你揭开新闻背后的真相。在这个信息泛滥、真相难觅的时代，6度解析应运而生。我运用海量数据、人工智能整合以及专家观点，层层剥析每个故事。通过实时背景数据挖掘，确保你获得全面的新闻资讯。然而，我们关注的不仅仅是数据，更重要的是将它们串联起来。我将分析多方视角，揭示隐藏的脉络，为你提供单一媒体常常忽略的背景信息。无论是政治、经济，还是全球事务，我都将为你带来最具洞察力的分析。试想一下，拥有洞悉全局的能力，做出明智的决策，参与有意义的讨论，这就是6度解析带给你的价值。它不仅仅是新闻分析，更是一种赋能的工具。加入今日华尔街的6度解析，共同探索头条背后的故事。你通往深度理解的旅程，从这里开始。不要只是阅读新闻，要解码新闻，理解新闻，活出新闻。这一切尽在6度解析。立即订阅，不错过任何真知灼见。因为了解真相仅仅是个开始。